right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the ESL Pro League. It's our final day of action for this week. It's been a long one, but it is coming to a close with this matchup now, as we are going to be seeing these two teams clash, NRG and CLG, and it'll be here on Overpass. And it's a very important matchup, really, for both of these teams. NRG looking to secure themselves. It's a very close race here near the bottom of the top 6, where they currently sit, and CLG way down at 10th, but only by 1 point at the moment here, separating them and NRG. So if they are able to take a 2-0 here, they'll shoot really far up in the ratings, well past NRG's own position and into the top 6 again.
Yeah, when we talk about teams at the beginning of the season, we see that they are probably thinking about, every map is very important. It will add up towards the end of the season. But it's really only towards the end of the season actually start thinking about, okay, I really need to win this map. I really need to win this map. And I think fortunately for both of these teams, or maybe unfortunately, they're probably great competition for each other. I think it's unclear exactly who's going to win. I think we all favored CLG to win, maybe just by a slight margin. And then actually at your prediction, what did you think?
I think NRG's going to take this one personally.
Okay.
I think they've been doing really well. They've been doing really well, really consistently for the most part too, which is the important thing behind that. So I feel like with CLG's kind of recent, ups and downs, I have a feeling that NRG's going to be able to take this one.
Yeah, and they're definitely good enough to do it. I'd say overall they're the better team. In terms of the Overpass, I think CLG might edge them out, but we can settle that debate in about 30 minutes after this game is over.
Yeah, that's the one thing that would throw it the other way, but I feel like the individual 5-man roster at NRG is just in a much better position than CLG is right now, so we'll see how that pans out.
Fugly bought nothing this round, not even armor.
Interesting. We'll see how that evolves in the second couple of rounds here, especially if NRG lose. That's going to make it interesting to see how they buy in the second round here if he tries to upgrade it all. But the early split from NRG, they are going to send a majority of their players towards Party. 3 of them, in fact, heading towards there. And Anj will be one of the few that actually breaks away from this. He's going to kind of lurk around construction here. He already found one player jumping to look for info. And the last one besides that would be Fugly. He's hanging out down at the bottom of the tunnels here. Just trying to make sure that no one from the CT side is able to successfully hide out and trick these players.
All the CTs playing far back, passive positions, while NRG hang on to their map control, peek out a little bit, try to get some attention, which they do find at least one person peeking long A, but that's not going to be a surprise to them. From here, it's just deciding where do we see that the CTs may have not stacked, and wow, what a reaction from Anj.
Instantly headshots out Ricky, so there's the first kill already going by the way of these T's here now. I'm just going to end up running into a little bit more trouble. However, he spots the player Toxic, realizes that he's in a 1v2 here now, and he's going to back up a little bit, but still goes in to regress, and the stars align for him. Gets Ethan peeking out in a poor position. Kusta will trade, but that's irrelevant. That's just the setup, essentially, to let NRG go into this A site with relative ease, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to walk right up, get one more kill. FNS also gets Goosh down to 7 HP, so he's had to back away from this situation. And now it's a 4v2 retake that CLG have to attempt to go for, but with NRG having very aggressive control, it's going to be tough. They need to be on the draw with these shots here. We can already see FNS trying to push back in. Cirque will stop him, though, and he gets another headshot right after that to close out for NRG here on the pistol.
An excellent start for NRG. Great impact from our 2 Europeans on the team. Anj as the lurking to be, and pretty much the man on short, making sure that nobody pushes, gets 2 kills, when really his job was to try to get 1, force them to rotate over to his site while his teammates took the other one. Instead, he gets 2, stays alive the entire time, and it continues to be a nuisance. So CLG now are going to be buying up with just CZs and some half armor, actually a couple people with full armor, which I personally think will quickly fall out of the meta as people realize how easy it is to still get kills without that head armor.
Still going to be relatively slow from NRG, despite them taking control and very dominant stance of that pistol. For good reason behind that, CLG have decided to force into this round, and their players have pushed forward pretty heavily. None towards Party or the tunnels where NRG are currently having most of their players hide out at, but we do have presence on long and inside of the bathrooms, where they are going to try to challenge NRG close up at better angles, look for a couple of kills, and after you see smokes in the bathrooms, they'll start to get suspicious here. Now this will be interesting because, again, you still have those long players formed up here, and at the moment it doesn't look like anybody is watching the backside for NRG. So if CLG time this properly, they may be able to find some impact. It really depends on if they can catch them when they're not looking. As you saw there, they did put Breeze onto that fountain for just a couple seconds to watch out for it, but neither of them will find anything, and CLG staying as movementless as a rock right now. Not moving anywhere. Until they push in, which was exactly the moment they were looking for. So Cutler's going to be able to swing out there, take down Daps, but again, I think NRG were able to figure out exactly what the setup was for the CT side, so now they're going to swing over here quickly into B, get basically a free walk-in. There was Ethan to take care of, but as you just saw, Cirque knocks him out with no problem whatsoever. Now the last four on CLG really don't have much to bargain for here. They could probably try to box in and look for exit kills, but the round will probably go into the hands of NRG.
Seems like it. The retake's going to be far too difficult. For CLG, they had a really good setup at A, and it really did seem like NRG were going to probably try to test them, but instead of doing that, off of what seemed like a good call that was probably relatively blind, they decided to hit B. I think maybe because no one pushed along B. I'm not sure exactly who it was that got there that told them to rotate, but this might be the first time in the season that we actually give credit to the proper IGL in Fugly.
Yeah. So that'll close that round out, and CLG decide really not to contest this situation too much. They'll still actually have a decent amount of gunpowder going into this third round, where it would normally be an outright save with no purchases at all. Now we see CZ upgrades, the 3 armor buys from the previous round, and the MAC-10 even coming in there, of course, on Ricky when he got that kill into Daps due to him pushing a little bit too aggressively. But Daps will rebuy that anyway, and then we'll just have to wait and see once again if CLG can line their players up for some sort of an upset here, and if not, well, NRG will walk their way through a 3-0 as we get prepped for the first gun round.
Not happening quite yet. Ricky is walking down the stairs in one of his favorite angles. This time doesn't actually have a Zeus, but he likes to sit here with the Zeus. A MAC-10 can also be quite powerful. The short setup from CLG as they're somewhat thinned out across the map, but you can see that instead of having the A setup, Ricky is here on what would be a fast flank if they decide to take short control. Opening that door can be very powerful versus players that come out short B. But there won't be anything here for CLG to bite on. NRG have thrown a Molotov, shied Ricky away, and then actually reaggressed. Dapsel Hill was just a MAC-10 getting so much information.
Yeah, and he really just holding back CLG 2 from rotating into where they properly need to go. But however, there is one player that's going to see the real hit or hear it more than anything else as Daps will get pushed, and he doesn't even get a single kill. Ricky takes him out immediately with a MAC-10. We are going to see Kusta walking in, but he walks right into Cirque, who's watching that flank. But this time, they're going to be on the site more appropriately here. Breeze, while he'll get the first kill, Ethan will be able to swing up from Dumpster very quickly for the trade, taking out Breeze. Cirque almost eliminated, but spins around at the last second. Unfortunately for him, he loses his only other teammate besides that a moment later. Now set up in a 1v2. CLG good straights to look for an upset here, but they still have to get past Cirque. He's already picked up 2 kills here. Still at about 2/3 HP. They'll push out loudly, but wow, Ethan running out with a CZ headshot Cirque. And that's going to be CLG upsetting here on the third round, putting the scoreline at 2-1.
No, Cirque's never had a problem with reaction time, but Ethan was just way too fast. Instant headshot. I don't think he even pressed down on that button. Wow, completely destroyed. You would have expected Daps to have a lot more impact sitting in the stairs in the passive spot that he was in. He was kind of toying and kiting all these CTs that were running around the stairs, peeking him, trying to get them grouped up so that they would come into a very favorable angle. Instead, just got completely destroyed. Easy 5v4. CLG mentally are probably a little bit worried at this point, and then the retake comes out. Even after Ricky had the, or even after Kusta got killed on the flank through the smoke. Looks like NRG are going to try to peek out at shorts. Is anyone going to jump into the crosshair advantage? We'd love to see that. The flash actually denies Ethan any information, and it doesn't look like he'll be trying to do that again.
Nope. Might have been, although he's not thinking at the right angle. It looks like he saw one player there. But Dap should have been able to see him too, so they're going to realize his presence here. Hug the wall now just to make sure they can't get anything. Is this there? Well.
Oh,
that was
Kusta from the heaven. Kusta from the heaven just shot through over the boost.
Oh, all right. Well, that gets killed. I was wondering what the third player was for there for a second, but we never got to see that, so it's a little bit unfortunate.
Moral support.
Yeah, it seems so. But Kusta spots that from heaven, and we'll take a look at that later, by the way, guys, on replay here. So that did throw us off a little bit since the sound, for whatever reason, didn't go off, but shows you how important South can be sometimes. Anyway, NRG getting ready now for the full-on B execute. The problem is CLG should be very well aware of this. They're going to still keep a couple players up on the A site just in case they tried to quickly wrap, but with this coming into B, it's going to be really no surprise at all to CLG, and they should, in theory, be very well set up to stop this. Smokes and mollies, however, are going to put CLG's members in a couple awkward positions, and as we see them walk in, Fugly starts off with a double kill entry, spots the third inside of Pit, but FNSC's going to be able to hold on, taking down at least one player here, and the flashbang supports him. Continues to run the timer down too. If the flash didn't hit him, he probably could have had Anj for free. And now Cirque's going to push in, tries to no-scope it, and actually misses. So now it's to pull back, and that's going to keep FNS well and alive, and lets him swing out to get an additional pickup now onto Cirque. Anj looking to clutch, now 1v2, but he has no time remaining. He'll pick up one additional frag. Kusta obviously realizes what's happening, and he'll be long gone here, running back up to the A site, leaving Anj to lose the round via the timer.
Yeah, I'm already going to say NRG's Overpass looks a little bit weak. They were able to win that one eco, but then to get ecoed and then to allow this to happen where they didn't spend much time looking for map control whatsoever, just kind of sat back and waited for any mistakes that CLG would make in the form of pushes. Once that didn't happen, picked B almost arbitrarily, I feel like ran into a full site setup, and I don't think there were any surprises for CLG to deal with. It was a run-of-the-mill play, so not too impressed with what we've seen so far, and a lot of it did come down to the opening kill from the CTs on both these rounds. But CLG setups, I think, are a little bit more impressive right now.
NRG are going to go very quickly into the A site this time. They'll push it forward very quickly, but the problem is they do have to be careful. Kusta, still working with the silent op, apparently, is going to be able to get one shot onto Dabster. He's now going to be chased back in a bank, but kind of baits, as it's going to let Cutler move back in. Cirque, though, with an instant CZ refire there, comes back out, takes down Cutler, keeps NRG at least at somewhat of an advantage with site control, but they're still at a numbers disadvantage. And Kusta is going to take another shot here. Ends up falling back. Ricky, however, will have much better luck. And Kusta, unfortunately, just ends up getting outwitted there a little bit by Fugly, who jumps over him, but he has a teammate behind him who will quickly trade that back out and complete the round for CLG as they continue to shoot ahead, now with a lead, 3-2.
Any terrorist team fate that takes bathrooms without long control should die to the long player, and that was Cutler coming back. Kusta was put in a little bit of danger, but because he was able to get that opening kill, there was no surprise for his teammate, and then falling back to bank just into safety. I think it was very fortunate to avoid getting killed by the MAC-10 in the first place, but it was really his teammates that picked up from there. Cutler on that crossfire and staying alive on top of that as well was a big deal. Now, NRG are going to be half buying. It's going to be CZ's Smokes out. Smokes out for Overpass.
Anj also just waiting on the side, but the CTs have their own boost up now, so Anj is going to end up walking right into the crosshairs of Ricky, who's going to have no problem at all taking him down. Now he changes position over to the safe plant spot. Excuse me, CLG have a really good crossfire position, but FNS ends up backing up from Toxic maybe a little bit too soon. Okay, again, getting another kill, but now he's alone as Ethan also got eliminated, having to play from multiple angles here. The T's own Smoke is helping him out as he gets that nice one tap on a Fugly. Tyler's looking for Breeze, who was able to sneak away towards CT here, but what's he going to do with this position? He didn't even realize it and send Cutler back. So he's not going to get far. He'll take him out. That's another quick round for CLG.
I'd definitely like to watch that round again from Ricky's perspective at some point, if not now. That was nice. I mean, we saw it from Ricky's perspective, but what I'm asking for is a replay, Blue. These are nice shots. And it's good to see him have that AK one more time. Unleash the karate on the terrorists coming into the site. Even though they only had pistols, they did force up and they wanted to plant. They couldn't even get that because he finessed them too hard.
Yes,
no pun intended.
Yes, they're going to end up falling behind really poorly here, and now that CLG knows they have the advantage, they're going to look to flaunt a little bit here as they got a two-man party push coming out. NRG might just bite right into this flashbangs. Kusta will miss, but they're not going to expect Cutler to be here, so he's able to swing out, getting that second kill as well right after it. Breeze and Cirque both already dead, just 30 seconds into the round here. And CLG, with that penultimate advantage, are just going to fall back to the site. There's no reason for them to continue playing aggressively. They'll continue to get kills. Meanwhile, downstairs at the bottom of the site, Ricky is able to take down Anj. So Fugly and Daps will have to look to somehow regroup and try to make some sort of a take, but their odds are just really not looking too great.
The name of the game for CTs on Overpass is push for a kill. So you get the kill, get back to the site. It's simple. It is. It really is that simple. It's finding the setups that'll get those kills. That's the difficult part. And the reason you lose most of the time is not the work that goes into it, but the risk that's involved with pushing up. Because a lot of times people aren't very comfortable doing that. But that's what CLG have been doing and doing really, really well. But I talk through Fugly dying, obviously.
Yeah, Fugly trying his best to turn that situation around, but obviously he's up against the 1v5, so not going to happen. And now Ethan the only player from CLG that has to rebuy going into this next round completely anyway. As we take a look here, they have the full lead. You know, NRG onto another half-buy situation here. Just going through the motions at this point, as without plants, they're unfortunately not going to be able to continuously buy even with CLG. Now getting on a 5-round streak and completing the max losing bonus for NRG here.
See, they do what they can. Now we can tell by how many smokes they have. They don't want to die in the early round. They would love the CTs to push and try to get a kill that way, but they don't want to lose these smokes because they clearly have a set strategy to use them for, and it probably doesn't involve anything to do with the defaults. Cirque, I wonder what he was going to do with that smoke. I think the flash that we didn't hear right now let them lead. A boost to clear out any oppers. And bathrooms control has been forfeited. Last time this worked, because even though they only had 2 people on A and not pushed up, which I don't like on anti-ecos, Kusta was opping, so that does help. But there we go. Sensing that the T's might be encroaching upon them, they have also thrown the incendiary and asked for a rotate.
Yeah, the big thing this time is going to be the fact that, again, they are going up against these pistols here, so NRG really don't have any movement restrictions coming up against them at all. CLG would have to deal with that if they tried to play out front in the bathroom, so they're going to decide to just play to the sites this time. And so far that's working okay. However, Kusta will be overwhelmed right off the bat. And Ethan is here. He does have support sitting behind him at semi, however, so they're going to be able to quickly trade out Kusta's death by getting 3, now 4 kills of their own regard. Leaving only Anj alive to try and clutch 1v4 and even being spammed through the smoke kind of randomly there. He's down at 7 HP, and Ricky coming in on the flank completes the kill, giving round number 6 to CLG.
Still think they're going to win?
No, it's not looking too great right now. I'll say that much.
Yeah, they don't look like they have things figured out, right? The spacing was a little weak there. They did get that opening kill on Kusta, but once the smoke came down in front of their smokes, they're like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, what do we do? And then from there, we're just jumping through it right into just such an easy frag. They didn't adapt very well at all. They came out with a set strategy, committed very hard to it, and they didn't think for themselves. You know, they've got to have more of an independent thought process across players when there is a reaction from the CTs that's throwing a wrench in their plans. But it's going to happen because they have more utility. So they've got to be more ready to change things up on the fly.
I hope we'd see a pause here soon from NRG 2 if they keep trying to execute this way. I mean, they're lined up for a pretty straightforward B hit this time, but already losing a player at Monster here as Cirque tries to sit behind that little spindle there. Kusta takes down Fugly, meanwhile, trying to push bathrooms. So every avenue of NRG's play on these gun routes so far has just failed almost entirely. Cutler now going to move back in. He has a superior angle against Dap, so he's going to take him down another 1v1. Just simple victories coming out all the time here for CLG. I mean, that finally there's one from Anj. They work off the previous intel in order to take down Cutler there, but that's, you know, one trade. They're still sitting 4v2 here.
One up on Edge. Bomb left back by Spawn. And it's coming in with the dry peaks. They might give him it. It's 4v2. Hard-pressed to find a team that doesn't get lazy with the man advantage, and there's actually a couple of kills as everybody in the B site gets melted. Breeze making his way back to get the bomb because he doesn't believe it himself that they've actually taken the site. Ange is actually the man.
It's a little bit of a communication lapse there, but the CT's moving as slow as they do, so...
Ooh, these smokes are going to dissipate soon. They're really hanging out here.
And Ethan looking for the spam spot is going to be able to find it as Breeze comes out from the left side there, takes him down, re-engages the advantage now for CLG. Naj will look to clutch with an op in hand. There was an anchor right there if he wanted to trade it, but now he's going to get pushed. Oh, the quick scope onto Kusta denies his pistol kill. Oh, and he almost swings onto Ethan too, but Ethan does get the kill quicker, and that will be CLG holding control, 7-2.
That would have been nuts if he hit that, but yeah. Otherwise, it got a little weird. It got expensive. That was nice for NRG. They got the bomb down, which they probably didn't have a hope of. And here's Anj with a couple of very good kills, 3 in total with those 2 entries to get into the site in the first place. So valiant effort met with and has afforded them the ability to get a leg up on their utility, which is nice. But CLG still have the advantage in all regards. And NRG are going to be without an op as well.
Let's see, however, as the op can still, without the op, they can still definitely get some work done. The utility, I think, is the more important thing. They now are able to get fully bought up into this round, so let's hope they can actually work some sort of a hit properly this time. These straightforward walkouts onto sites are not working. They need to adjust. Kusta will be first up to back here. Timing shot for him not going to be on its mark, so he's going to be forced back. Same for Cutler for the first time here now. NRG are able to get some map control without having to lose like 2 to 3 players. So at least they have that going for them. This is only the small start. Remember, we talked about this metaphor previous about how much harder it is to line up a take on the A-bomb site. NRG have only just now accomplished the first step.
They have found a way to do damage to Ricky. He's hurt somehow. Over at B, maybe got wall banged. It doesn't seem like it's going to affect the round too much. So it does come down to retakes. Kusta playing a precarious position, but a very common one as well that has a lot of utility. The issue is just when you don't have a player like Cutler there supporting you in the bathrooms. Critical to always have a CT ready to watch your fallback.
There's a second missed shot there from him. Now we do see NRG getting incredibly low on time and need to prep up for this execute soon. The bomb's just now coming back down through upper tons, so that bomb cannot stop moving. That thing has to run right up to B and play, which means that these entries have to be on point, but they haven't even started this yet. They're not leaving themselves with enough time. Kusta kills Fugly, so they're going to know for sure that this is a B play here as they walk in. FNS just casually getting 2 players as well due to the confusion. And unfortunately, trying to execute at low time also does not work for NRG. They get absolutely melted. It's just another easy gun round, it seems, for CLG.
Started off pretty well. They got that map control finally. They were able to flash Gustav without dying, take long, leave a player there, go back to B, kind of clear things out. But then on their execute, as you mentioned, didn't have their bomb ready, and they had to go back and get it. They were running low on time, had to push through a smoke. FNS realizes, all right, if they're gonna push now. Throws a well-timed flashbang, easy 2K, completely blind. They didn't have options to make it seem like they were gonna do anything else. So NRG really kicking themselves in the ass there, moving into this round with another half buy.
Yep.
Common story.
Right back into the cycle here, so they're going to have to play this slowly again. CLG know they're on that half buy as they've kept very good track of the economy so far, so they're not playing aggressively this round. They're just hanging back. They'll wait for NRG to try to go for probably just another straightforward take.
Yeah, let them, because they don't have any full executes that we've seen be very appealing, to be honest. I mean, if I'm CLG, it's like, oh, they haven't surprised us yet. Go ahead, set up and try to hit the site.
So at the moment, looking like a B play, but this obviously could change. There's been a little bit of indecision for NRG sometimes. Without any CT interference up on top, though, more than likely they are going to stick to this plan as they move in. FNS sitting in the backside here has trouble spotting Daps for whatever reason. So he's actually going to get taken down by him on entry. Ethan will trade. Ricky getting one from the pit, but he's also going to fall after that. So even trades so far, and an actual advantage for NRG when you consider that earlier kill. That'll now change, though, with Kusta picking off Anj, trying to fall back underneath of the tracks. Just Molly out to safe spot here. That's going to send him over into the open. Won't be able to get the kill, but he can leap down. And I thought Ethan was shooting at him, so I would have thought that intel would have been transferred over, but now he's going to be able to complete the kill. Just going to have to look to clutch here now instead of having the support of Kusta. Smoke goes out. Time is getting a little bit low here. He's going to stick it on the second attempt. Daps will route through it very quickly, under 1 second, and yep, straight up ninjas it. Daps will kill him, but that doesn't matter. CLG still hold on to a round advantage. That's what they care about here, as NRG are going to be buying the next round anyway.
Oh, forget the 1v1. This is really messy. I don't know how FNS doesn't see...
Right there.
No, like... Yeah, what? What? That was really bad. I don't know how he didn't see him. The fire is obviously the only reason that he didn't shoot, because he must have lost his player model in the fire, but that's really surprising to me. Maybe that's a settings thing, I'm not sure.
He just has contrast turned up really high, so
all the way turned up. But also, the communication in the 2v1 or the 2v2, where Ethan shoots at a guy, does damage to him right under heaven, and Kusta somehow has no idea that that happened. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
that was really weird about, because it definitely seemed like Ethan was shooting at him there.
In a 2v2, your first goal is to identify where the 2 players are. That's number 1.
Mm-hmm. So they still get it done, but it's obviously way messier than they had intended here. Now Daps is going to be able to walk around the corner, getting a nice little casual headshot on the Cutler. There are 2 more players on those steps, though.
Oh, you know what might have happened? Ethan might have wallbanged it and not known that he did the damage.
Oh, yeah. That could have been it, too. Well, anyway, FNS will now trade out the earlier kill from Daps. That brings it back down to a 4v4. We're seeing the rest of the players trying to execute quickly onto B again. There's actually not a lot of presence from CLG, but they do have players sitting in the steps, so they're able to quickly rotate back in. Fugly meeting an untimely demise there. Anj will get a kill, as does Cirque. So NRG just slowing things down on this take seems to work wonders for them here. Not only that, but CLG kind of being out of position on these steps. This does work to let Kusta move back in, getting another kill. And now he's going to be smoked back out, tries to just waltz through it, but Breeze's spam will take him him down before he even gets halfway through it.
Another kind of rough round where CLG probably should have won on the site holds. Kusa coming in. And here's just a dry peek from Fugly that gets punished. A nice shot, and he did get dinked, to be fair. So, you know, the headshot was there. But, you know, if you knew they were a long B, potentially asking for a flash. I'm not sure if there was the opportunity for it. Can't be too hard. That's a headshot position. Tough shot for the Opera to hit. He hit the dink. Fair play to NRG on an individual basis.
Fugly going to quickly start walking in over here towards tracks. In fact, FNS still has nades out, has no clue they're going to execute this quick V. He's kind of stuck in the corner now too, so he's going to get mollied. And let's see if he's able to escape. Yeah, they actually let him go. So they don't catch him when he jumps back over there behind the smoke. And now Ricky is able to spam one back over there from CT Cubby way in the backside of the site. Ethan is preparing for them to push in a Toxic. Misses it when it finally happens, however. Breeze able to get a lot of damage in despite just having to kind of randomly spam. Anj will get a real kill in the meanwhile. Ethan, though, sneaking back in from pit, denies the first attempt at a plant. It's now even into a 2v2. And Anj is going to try to push through here further into pit. Cutler, he hasn't seen the AK sitting right in front of him, so that's going to let Anj swing back out and kill Cutler. Now it's on Ricky again to clutch. 1v2 in this situation. Caesar should hear them planting. He'll try to take shots to the safe position. Don't think it's going to penetrate that far, however, and the flashbang now puts him behind the wall again. As the time starts ticking against Ricky's favor. He does have a kit. He has no utility to get further out onto this site, though. Has to rely on dry peaks alone. Started off by checking over there to make sure no one is hiding out. The jump up and a missed shot will seal his fate. Anj taking him down and securing another round for NRG.
How is this happening? This is literally the round right here, if he gets this kill. He even I'm pretty sure he
sees his leg too, and he sees the air K move right there.
Dude, what is going on? Like,
I don't know.
FNS not seeing someone in a molly that he saw before the molly, and then Cutler having something on his screen. These are like such important kills too. Like, it would crush NRG. CLG would be at 12 rounds right now if they just seen two things that were on their screen that were right in front of them too. That's, you know, sometimes. You know, we've all got caught not seeing something because we're looking at another corner of our screen, quadrant or whatever, very focused on his smoke, for example, and thinking, oh, this guy's going to peek right here. But even surprised that his teammates who were dead
Didn't call that out or something?
Didn't see it. I mean, I'm sure they would have called it, but it's weird.
Well, that will give NRG the advantage here now and also break the CT economy as they're going to be on a full eco this round. So NRG have their pickings. CLG tried to gamble stack upper out towards like long and bathrooms, and well, as we can see in front of our eyes now, that's not going to work. NRG is going to walk right into B, find an open site in a second, get a safe plant, and that'll pretty much secure the round. CLG to try and line up for a couple of exit kills or just outright deny kills in general here by hiding. There won't be anything to save, however, as we can see, Anj moving through these CT halls here is going to be able to move in, take out Ethan, finding at least one kill. It's just a hunting game at this point.
They did have a couple of eco rounds early on that they had to come up with cool setups for, and they did manage to have them. Kind of back on that path after a couple of very unfortunate rounds. I don't know if they'll be able to buy following this 2 or 3 round win streak.
This is a 3-round win streak.
3-round win streak. Okay, so they're gonna have 4-round loss next round.
Well, this is the 3rd right here that they just won now.
Okay.
So
they will have 4th round loss.
This would be.
Oh, this is
the 3rd round loss.
Gotcha.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
they still managed to have enough money to buy after 1 save. So 2 rifles because they had the economy to support it. That's the other value. So even if you lose all these rounds in a row, if you have won the rounds that you won in a streak decisively, kept at least 3 or 4 people alive, then you go on a losing streak. You can buy through it, and then only have to save once. In the last round of the game, especially, could it be a more important time to have to be able to put some rifles together. Ball control out for NRG.
A renewed sense of confidence, it seems, for them too. Much more, actually confident to swing out and try to take some of these duels where previously they wanted to try and play very slow leading up to the sites, then try to explode all at once. Now they're going to keep the aggression going early on. Actually try to get some kills countering out CLG's own positions here, but even CLG haven't pushed out that far. Just going to be hiding behind Flower Pot. NRG have not made any noise just yet. However, Kusta is going to be swinging around and just walks off Fugly's head from the backside, takes him off, and that's that 5v4 advantage that they can now play off of here. Breeze going to jump on top, catches the trade, swinging back down, sees a second, pulls out his AK again, and gets the second kill too. Knocks out Cutler. Gives NRG back a man advantage to play with here now.
Oh, what do they do from this? Did Ethan make noise?
Yeah, he did.
Duh. Would Daps be shooting this much? He's going to reload.
No, maybe he didn't hear him. Then I
Yeah,
would have
he
sworn
didn't.
that Ethan made a jump up noise there, but apparently he didn't. Either that or Daps didn't hear him. So Ethan's going to walk back in. Trade Cirque unscopes at just the wrong moment. So that's going to leave that player alive, and also will let him swing back in. And no! What? Ethan's going to walk out, just find Anj for free. 2 remaining here from NRG now. They do have Ethan pinched to a certain degree, so they might be able to take him out pretty easily. Yeah, Ethan, there's unfortunately not a whole lot he can do right now. Just hope he can stay alive. Swings out. Cirque will finish him off, but Ricky also moves back in, taking down Cirque, and now leaving Breeze to clutch. 1v2 with just under 20 seconds remaining. He spots the head of Ricky, but a little bit slowly there. So that's going to buy time for FNS to get back up on top of Safe Plant Spot, completing another round for CLG. They lead 10-5. Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen, to see if they can keep that going, or if NRG will bounce back in the second half coming up right after this.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Bringing it back to you once again, folks, here. CLG leading 10-5 currently over NRG on our first map between these two teams. It is on Overpass. Could have been much more dominant for CLG, however, given the odd turn of events that we had happening in the mid-half there, right?
Yeah, it could have been a 12-3, 13-2. Really, CLG got back on their feet, and then all of a sudden they lose a couple of rounds to the stuff that you just don't want to see, man. Like, you know, me as an analyst, you as a caster, the viewers at home, like, you don't want to see someone losing a round because they didn't see something that was in front of them. Like, they had information that just didn't see them. You know, it's just like, it's hard to even, you know, blame someone for it. It's like, you know, they're looking at their screen, trying as hard as they can to win the round. They just miss something that's right there.
Sometimes
like,
stuff just happens.
And it happens. It happens to all of us, of course, right? Yeah, it's just you don't want to have to see it because it's just a hard thing to even talk about. Now, Ethan is at 110 ADR. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty damn impressive. Leading by a huge margin, actually.
Well, we'll find out if he can keep that going now into the second half. CLG is going to be jumping on a T side. NRG moves over to the CT side. And we will begin it. Let's take a look here and see if we can have a repeat. And one team dominating these pistols, or if CLG can now win it and get revenge from the first half. Starting it off, they'll move out, and Breeze will actually be here to challenge, but he only sees that one player going up top, so I think he's going to fall back just in case they try to quickly swing. He was also the one that was kind of supposed to cover steps here, so just making sure that none of these Ts will be able to successfully kind of flank him out, taking him down before, you know, he's even given a chance to fight. He's smart about that, backs away in time, and it's just as CLG were about to move in and pinch on him too, so he gets out of here before things get too hairy.
It's kind of like all these CTs are around the middle of the map, and now they are slowly getting pushed back on the A half of things. Daps getting kind of aggressive on short B spots. One player holding long. I'm not sure if he saw a name tag yet. If he saw Ricky, maybe he knows that this is what they do on their pistols. That's a big tell when you spot the B player, whether or not you kill him or not. And it's really on CLG to decide, well, okay, do they know? Or do we ever send Ricky here? Or can they telegraph this play? And from there, make a choice.
In comes the smoke now from CLG to get them into the site. Breeze, though, still ready to take that battle. Takes out one of these guys and is going to end up swinging them downstairs. But Daps also takes out the monster player. He's going to get traded after that. Anj now with one of the few CZs alive. In fact, I think the only CZ is going to be able to wreak some havoc with it. Gets up close, takes out Ethan and Cutler, now leaves FNS in a 1v4. And NRG should be good now to take their second pistol, unless FNS shows us some very impressive things in this 1v4.
Sick round from the whole squad as FNS runs into a round that's very unlikely that he's going to be able to win. And Ange actually puts a third on the board. So, awesome impact from him. CZ is an interesting pistol round weapon to use. It doesn't have that much ammo. It's only got 1 mag, 24 bullets in total. It has a huge nerf at range. So even though people don't have head armor, I don't think it'll one-shot or even one-shot and 1 body shot at medium to long range. But up close, you know, it's got it's automatic. It's fairly accurate and does damage up close. And we can see from the position that he used it in that he made the most of it, getting 3. So
that is going to put CLG onto a second round force-up since they don't get a plant going for themselves in that round. Everybody will end up shifting close towards these bathrooms and lining up for a pretty quick push towards the A side, actually. Fugly spots some of this, so he's not going to challenge it. That is starting to become a little bit of a pattern here that we can see even from the pistol there. Then NRG, you know, they have an advantage, don't want to challenge any of these fights directly. They're sitting back, just playing, happy to get intel and just intel to play off of that. Cirque actually with a little bit of a dangerous peek that you might have caught there. Just ends up looking right into the eyes of another T with a knife out.
See, I say play that spot when you have bathroom support, otherwise don't bother. He could have got killed on the fallback there. See, this is what they need to do, and now Cirque can play their happily in front of the smokes and the re-smokes. This is good. CLG haven't pushed in time to take advantage of the fact that they gave him all this free area. I like that they're actually playing in front of it as opposed to on the site.
It's going to put Cirque in the corner now. Time getting a little bit low, so CLG have to look for an execute soon, and we can start to see that broiling up over there towards A-Long. Ange now finding his first kill from inside. The flashes will go back out, but Cirque is already ready at the front lines to fight this. They wrap around, they kill most of the A-Long players, 1 left alive, and due to the virtue of Cirque running out of ammo, Ethan will kill him. But now, a 1v4 set against him. He'll dink Ange, but NRG will shut him down besides that, and put themselves just 3 rounds away from a tie.
Maybe we see 2 teams that are really prepared for CT side. I don't know. We'll have to wait for the rifle round. I think there's still hope, but I do like the adjustment here. At first, I didn't like how they were so passive in the site, and then when they moved it to bathrooms, it got in front of their smokes, worked together. You know, it seemed to make a lot more sense, and there's a small window of timing where CLG could have abused it, but they didn't, and NRG made the appropriate reaction. I think called themselves out. Start getting real frisky here, even though stairs is a problem. Oh, Fugly's down here to do the cleanup.
3 quick kills for him. Deletes pretty much all of CLG right there, so fast 8th round. Probably going to be coming up on the board for NRG now. Fugly just looking to stack it up, make it an ace, and there we go. Ends up getting all 5 for this round. Nice little casual ace there, as we did have the full save from CLG.
Yeah, nice. Puts them all in the SMG. Barely takes any damage on those 3 kills. Back up the stairs to finish the job. 2 round differential between NRG and CLG as we move into round 19. Full buyout from both squads. Kusta has the op. Cirque, 17-year-old Bulgarian all-star, opping as well. He's super quick. I think he could be competition.
Trying to find that early shot there as he pushed himself forward, but ends up falling back relatively quickly without really much to show for it here. Breeze even getting hit elsewhere on the map, closer to B. Loses half of his HP in these first couple of moments. CLG basically just playing across the map right now, looking for picks, not trying to get map control anywhere just yet. That'll be changing soon, as they're going to start pushing over here towards bathrooms to look for some control there. Even Ethan coming up from the tunnels now is going to be grouping up in order to contribute to this and start the push inside.
We can see at a minute 10, which is a lot faster than the earlier rounds from NRG. CLG have taken a fair bit of map control and have actually decided on B already. It's good for a couple of reasons, though they haven't actually crushed short quite yet. 2 questions will be, are NRG going to push up A by the time that CLG are ready to execute? Because that would negate some of the information that they've gained. And also, will they big flank?
They are pushing up through short 8 now to try and check for that, so Cirque's going to be able to spot all the way up towards the tunnels and party. And see that there is pretty much no presence here from the T's at this point. And that should cause the rotation from Fugly at any second here now as soon as Cirque fully spots out here. But with about 30 seconds remaining, CLG are going to move in for the execute. They re-smoke Heaven. Molly's coming out from the CTs, though. He's actually going to hold the construction guys back, but FNS hits his first entry regardless. Ricky doing the same exact thing, knocking out Breeze. They can't stop them right now. CLG are moving in too quickly, but Anj, the all-star so far from NRG, is also only going to be able to show up for one kill. Fugly, now stuck behind a smoke, will rely on his teammate to kind of help distracting a little bit so that he can push in. He's trying his best to do that. The bomb will now go down, and Fugly trying to push in here, sneaking up on these players. He does walk right forward into a kill, but loses Cirque in the process. So now he's alone in a 1v2. His flash from the back lanes here, goes in a check. That's an easy kill on Ricky right there, as he was already sub at 10 HP. And now it's him versus Cutler. Cutler will peek out from construction, but the timing is terrible, unfortunately, for Fugly. And he ends up looking away at just the wrong time. So that is going to give the round to CLG and make sure that they can hold on to their lead to start off in this half.
It was a nice round to kick it off. We can see the spoils of NRG winning those Anticos so decisively. However, everyone's got tons of money to buy. No danger of a reset quite yet. And CLG are going to be putting together kind of a worse buy than even NRG have somehow, coming down to one player just off of the back of losing all those 3 rounds. And it was overall a pretty clean execute, though. They got away with what they wanted. They did it with a lot of time remaining, bomb down, and kept the numbers up even when it came down to the very last moments, where it's pretty much, you know, the numbers, it's one-on-one, but you have the bomb down, which is a big advantage for the terrorist. And it was funny to see that Fugly seemed confident that Cutler was going to peek before he even tapped the bomb, and it kept hitting him with the double take, and he was right about it.
So now we do have CLG trying to go back in for short control in a second here. Just trying to run the timer down a little bit before they start moving in for that. And NRG, once again, not really, you know, to be seen over here towards Party or even inside of the bathrooms early on. They did establish some presence out from Long A, but they really did not try to challenge these guys over here, Fountain or anything like that at all this time. So they let CLG once again walk right up, get all of this map control for free. They don't really have to do anything in order to achieve it. They end up using a couple of grenades just under circumstances. They would usually need to do that anyway, but still, it's easy control early on for CLG, and now they're going to try to form this up into a straightforward A-long hit. Potentially one player either holding in the tunnels, watching for flanks, or coming up through short later on. The majority of NRG actually watching for short right now. They can move in there and see that there is basically zero presence established, which actually could be interesting because this could give them a false flag. However, more players are rotating back up anyway. A third now being added to the A-bomb site and throwing additional nades out to A-long to try and stop some of this. And Ricky actually being hit down to 3 HP. I'm not sure if that happened now or earlier, but he's going to be caught running into the bathrooms. It's an easy kill for Fugly, and that should sound the alarms as the A hit's coming back in as well. 2 kills for Cirque on the entry, gets another one right close up, and we'll look for the final one. Cutler trades that, but he's now alone. 1v3, under 10 seconds remaining in order to plant that bomb on the ground. Completely surrounded, I should mention too. Time will be running out in a second, and he ends up walking right into Anj, who's going to knock him out and secure a trade back for NRG.
Strange round. CLG get absolutely destroyed from Cirque, and we can see the way that he's playing this box is so smart, first of all, and it's not a spot that you'd normally have an Opera play from, because you typically see if someone is going to take A, they're going to do it by taking both long and bathrooms control and then splitting the site. And if they did take bathrooms control, well, his spot would be completely useless. So I think got caught off guard by this. This kind of like off-pasture spot that he decided to opt from, and it made it very difficult to get across into the site. Now, I do think that you can play more people going long than bathrooms and have a successful A hit, whereas I think if you have most people going bathrooms but no long control, you'll have that same problem that we talked about on Cobble. If you come up lower A without long control, well, the CTs can have a crossfire on you. So it makes sense, I think, that they went higher numbers that way, but because NRG took it upon them to look across bathrooms, get some information, kill Ricky early on, that gave Cirque a lot of info to be aware of the fact that long could be taken, and his teammates a lot of the ability to help him out.
So we're well onto our way here into the 6th round of the second half. CLG have already been able to push forward, even on just an eco round like this, and get a decent amount of control leading up to the ace site. But NRG continue to play safe, well aware of the fact that CLG was getting this control the entire time, and now shut down at least one player, which is just going to send CLG barreling the other direction into B here. Breeze and Anj able to pick up 2 more kills as they attempt to entry, unsuccessfully, we might add. Just down to Cutler now, and this little tap there from Breeze takes him out, and secures number 10 for NRG, putting them 1 away from the tie.
It's good, and they actually have 5 alive on this round, so they're building a ton of bank, as we can see a couple of SMG kills, contrasting to the op frag that's only worth $100, actually matters quite a bit. And even 1 clean P2K, 1 tap to close out the round. So 2 op setup, Anj and Cirque our Europeans actually have another round to farm. They want to pretty much weaponize Breeze in this situation to try to get as much money as possible so they can move forward to the next eco, or to the next full buy. Both those 1Ds, or what those deagle shots hit.
Thankfully there's a wall in the way, so at least saves his own HP from going down to 0, but with 20, it's not going to be much better. He will have to hold back. He may not be able to peek out aggressively as he's been doing in some of these past rounds. And CLG's FNS will move very quickly up to the edge of A long. No contest against him. Everyone else is grouping up right now, right outside of bathrooms here, a party area. And the CTs will just have to look to detect this a little bit better. They do have Breeze sitting right outside of the connector, able to go up those steps if need be. And he probably is going to end up wanting to do that, since the A site does have the one player down at 20 HP and one additional one. But CLG have given out no signals this time, so he's going to be a bit slower on rotates. However, they get some kind of intel early on, so they're going to rotate Ange up early, but at the same time, CLG changed their own hit up again. They're now heading back downstairs, and it looks like they are going to be executing into B after all.
The setup is to kill anybody that comes for short control, and you can hold short. You can hold inside the B site from short, and that's why we see NRG using the setup. But they have one person that aid to distract. FNS also opens the door and takes his time. Daps is here on short from a good angle, but he spots 2. His teammates will be activated, but here's the crossfire.
Double kill already coming out for Daps and Fugly. Breeze, Ange, everybody helping out this time. If Cirque got a kill, we'd see a team ace. However, Kusta is going to stop it from being an all 5-man alive round here for NRG. It's one more kill, and Ange, up from heaven, secures the last frag. Now tying the game up and diminishing CLG's advantage.
Yeah, so NRG definitely looking a lot smarter on their CT side, are pushing up in all the right ways and making the most of their eco rounds. Tons of money in the bank for all players. CLG, on the other hand, are working against an 11-11 scoreline after having a much better half than their opponents. Here we have an up on Kusta, 4 rifles, a lot of utility. This is going to be one of the defining moments that we look back on, to try to explain how this map got away from one team or the other.
CLG have really just 1 or 2 more chances here to be able to try and bring this back. Otherwise, NRG will take full control and be able to push up to 16 rounds, completing this upset to a certain degree, and continuing to push NRG further and further into the rankings. CLG very quickly get water control. They have everyone propped up here. The bomb is still sitting outside of Monster, has not committed here just yet. But from the looks of things, it may appear as though CLG may be trying to quickly get that bomb into position and get ready for a burst out execute here, as they have been playing relatively slow in the half besides that on these gun rounds. So we'll have to wait and see. They've got most players at the gate. Still a few stragglers heading out at like top connector and upper tons right now, so there'll be some delay probably while they wait to get those guys into position. NRG, though, seem to expect something coming in very soon, so they're lining up their own nades. Molly's smokes at construction. Not a whole lot being tossed out of Monster, but it is enough to delay CLG, as they are just holding right now on the outskirts of the B site. And those last 2 players are also rotating in now towards Monster to support the bomb carrier. Indeed, this is going to be a straightforward B hit.
This time we won't have NRG pushing up for information.
So they are going to be somewhat surprised to see this coming back in. Cirque still lined up, though, gets this first kill, waits for a second peek at construction, and gets it while partially blind. Daps now gets a 3rd. Cutler swings out from the sandbags to finally end Cirque's wrath. But still, the damage being done. It's now a 4v2. Kusta looking for a route to the site so that his teammate can move forward and plant here. Looks up to heaven. It seems to have the shot lined up, but still lets Ange get the kill anyway. And Fugly closes out on the last one.
I think a false exec would have done a world of good here. As we can see, the flash was actually useless. That didn't blind anybody on the left side of pillar, which should be like a standard angle to try to get anybody off of. Maybe they didn't throw enough. Maybe they didn't throw a variety. Or maybe the 1 or 2 that they did were just didn't have enough coverage, I'm not sure. But Cirque with that wide open shot. The second one he was blind for, so we'll give CLG credit there. We don't know who threw the flash, but he got that kill, woke up to having another frag, which is basically just critically important. So the hold looks almost as easy for NRG as it did for CLG on their B-site holds in the first half. It's hard for me to say which executes are actually looking a lot better, but we can see weaknesses in both.
So now with NRG in the lead, CLG do decide to take their first tactical pause in this map, trying to figure out what exactly is going wrong, how to fix it. Well, they're not going to have a whole lot of time to do that, as the pause should have expired as of a few seconds ago, and indeed it did. So we're jumping right back into it. Obviously, we won't see much of that pause's talk come into fruition here, since it's just another eco round from CLG. But the next round is where things will get very interesting, as that could be the round that really makes or breaks this map for NRG.
Your clock is on point, your internal clock, so you've been casting way too much.
Just get used to it after a while. Cirque, this time though in the bathrooms, does get an early kill, taking down Kusta, so we should see the rest of the CTs fall back now that their aggressive positions have served their purpose. Looks like they're going to keep Anj kind of out at Flower Pot there, but that's still a pretty safe position. And there's nobody pushing from CLG there anyway, so it's perfectly fine for him to be out there. CLG still kind of scattered across the map right now. Majority of their players in water, but there's one more still hiding in bathrooms, I think, looking for the refrag due to the loss of Kusta. But probably not going to happen, given the way that NRG has played this CT side, and especially the A site so far in this map. Yeah, Ethan even being hit when he tries to peek out there, so they're going to know he's here. Circle finish the job, gets a nice second kill. Daps, meanwhile, trying to lurk over here towards construction. They know something's up there, and he'll handle both of those kills. So now just Ethan alive. Ethan knows the round's over, so he's going to waltz right up, try to get some kind of a headshot angle to at least take down one of these oppers. But at 15 HP, oh, okay, gets one. Tags a second player too, I believe, as he moves in, and there's the kill. Takes down Cirque. That's an open site. If he hit the bomb, this would be great. He could get extra money, get whatever he wanted, but I think he's just going to take the op and run away.
Yeah, Cirque getting a little cheeky with that re-peek. And Ethan's like, I'll punish that. Now they do have eyes on the bomb. There's still some time on the clock, but it's going to be a relatively quiet save, I think, as NRG are sick of losing cavalry. They want any more to die.
Yeah, and Ethan's perfectly happy to get away with this op. Along with the 2 dirty kills, just trades it out, keeps the money a little bit lower for NRG in the long run. It's good for them. And that was actually both the ops that he dropped, I should mention, too. So
Are cavalry only horsemen?
yes.
Oh, shoot.
And they're also generally close ranged, or like closer range soldiers. So
Okay.
killing the oppers as cavalry probably wouldn't be the best metaphor.
All right. Not going to call them cavalry.
Just for future reference.
That's what we do, Pro League, so I can learn.
They're usually the guys with swords and pistols, if I recall correctly.
They're guys with swords and pistols?
Yeah.
On horses?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like if I were going to have anybody ride a horse in my war, I would definitely give him a gun too.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's like, I feel like it's a waste of a horse.
well, you wouldn't want to give him like, you know, like a huge rifle, because it's like you're still riding a horse. It's very unwieldy.
I'm just trying to, anything with range, really.
Yeah.
I feel like a sword is just a waste of a sword and a horse and a dude.
Those battles got brutal, man. We're talking like Napoleonic era stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so they needed the sword in case there was, you know, some close quarter stuff that happened.
Yeah. I've never fought a war, so
Neither have I.
I'll leave it to the pros.
Just read a lot of history books.
Right.
Well, now we're on to another gun round here. CLG will get ready to push their players forward. It looks like they're just going to go for another straightforward A attempt here, but the flash completely blinds Kusta and lets Cirque just walk completely into the open. Knocks him out. Anj had a good angle, but didn't spot FNS quickly enough, so FNS comes busting out, takes down Anj. That's the trade back. Yeah, see ya. Now we're at a 4v4 here.
That's like the shot everybody wants to do. You know, that's the thing they say about, let's say, other FPS titles, that you can't do that in. You know what I mean? There's no moment like that.
That's true. So crazy one-shots like that. Doesn't happen as quick. Circle move out. He's going to be able to kill Ethan again. Looking for more. He definitely knows there's presence coming in from Maelong, so he's going to weigh this appropriately. And the walk-in. Oh, Ricky actually gets the kill. Just realized that Cirque walks out a little bit too far into the open, and that's where the Bathrooms player are going to be able to take him down. He also inadvertently saves the long players, too, so it works out really well for them. Breeze going to move in, but Cutler saves his own life, taking out Breeze just by a hair here, as he only survives it with 5 HP. And now Daps is going to have to look to clutch, but CLG is playing it nice and slow. They've lined up something great for themselves, and Daps...
Ninja, ninja, ninja. Do you think that could be possible? I mean, he's not going to assume that this... Whoa!
Was he even looking at him?
Kind of. Dude.
The GoTV definitely did not catch up with the model movement there, because he had to swing really quick in order to get that kill. Wow.
Yeah. He was just kind of turning around into the wall. I don't even know exactly why. I think he maybe just reset his mouse potentially. I know from that Xfinity speed question interview that he said that he uses mouse sensitivity. I can't remember what his sensitivity was though. If it was low or not.
Pretty much everybody's low.
Or not a mouse sensitivity. He uses mouse accel.
Oh, acceleration.
Yeah.
I have no room for that.
You've what?
I said I have no interest in that.
No, you
Mouse
don't want to be like Swag?
No, dude, that's too weird playing with mouse acceleration.
If you don't want to be like Swag, that's fine.
No. I need consistent aim.
It should be blue.
I don't want it gliding. All right.
Do not be Swag. It's blue. I'll be swag.
That's fine. Let's see. CLG now finding that round to get them back into the game. We're going to see them pushing up through bathrooms relatively quickly here. They've got the control established, just under a minute on the clock. Everybody is grouped up. So besides trying to run out of time, there won't be too much more reason to delay this. The CTs have not pushed out from B to see that there's nothing there, but regardless, seem to have rotated a third player up early anyway. Anj contributing to this. Now you'll note he no longer has the second op. Cirque, however, is taking a little bit of a risk given the fact that they haven't checked out short A in a while here, nor have they checked out B. So he's going in blind, looking for intel. They peek and he's not ready for it. This will get rough. They're both sitting up. Here come the grenades now. The flashbang out's going to force him back. Will allow him to reposition out. So he gets the first, scopes in for a second, and it looks like it hits, but it's really Fugly peeking out. That's the biggest loss here. He pretty much just assumed Cirque was going to die. Fugly, though, trying to save him, ends up giving his own life away. Still, CLG don't have a whole lot of time to move in and get this plant. They check Anj's position, but actually let him get away, but he jumps, giving up a headshot to Ricky. Dap's got one, and he's still in this fight. But he's got a 1v3 set against him, and the bomb is now on the ground here, so we can no longer hide back and win this via the timer. Has to force back in, get that retake, or fall back now and call it a save. CLG would be able to tie this up at 13-13, and I think he's going to take that latter option.
Yeah, money's tight. I mean, the NRG are basically on welfare at this point. They are not going to have a lot of money next round, and Dap's going to be able to drop again. A couple other people might be able to buy. I mean, they probably will try. But if they do lose that round, actually, ooh, this is a tough situation. They made a deal with the Devil picking up that op. They have, they've grabbed it. Now it's probably going to influence their buy up. They're going to put a lot of stake. Like if they don't buy up next rounds, will they be able to afford an op? If they're able to afford an op and they don't buy next round, then they might just eco with this. But rarely do you see a team save an op and eco behind it. Rarely, especially when they have like even 2 or 3 people that can buy. Okay, CLG are going to pause. They're going to think about this. This is very important. I mean, if I am them, honestly, I take the amount of money I have right now. I drop that op to Cirque. I let Cirque maybe half armor, and say everybody else save enough money so that you can buy up full next round. And have a good chance in this round as well, and be able to do economic damage. If they lose here on this buy-up, they have to double save.
And that would let CLG be able to push themselves up to 16 rounds here now.
Oh, wait, will they have to double save? 2-round loss? Maybe they won't, maybe they won't.
It'll be like a close double save.
It'll be close, yeah. So yeah, they might have done it. I think they might be evening up, which is very wise. I like it.
Let's see as we're coming back into the fold now, and yup, it looks like half buys for those that could afford it, upgraded pistols for those that couldn't. So you've got Fugly and Anj sitting on just pistols. Cirque, Breeze, and Daps, however, do get armor behind their buys. It's just going to be about trying to do as much damage as possible here to prep them to win the next round after this. Cirque tries to go aggressive this time at Party, and has to very quickly fall back as CLG once again take that quick control outside of short A. What's this? Oh, they're going to boost up on top.
Oh.
FNS Solid tried to run away, but Cirque's going to take him down anyway. And now Anj pushing forward too. Does a little bit of damage, nothing significant, but he does tag down Kusta for a quarter of his own HP.
Hey, that's a nice shot. Critical moment to hit that. You could barely see him even on GoTV. So if you're playing with a door, don't actually have anyone outside long B. Don't know if anyone's close right. But now they do. Could have been a risky maneuver. But now that he's kind of asserted his position here, can actually play into CLG's favor, though they are kind of thinned out at this point, losing that opening frag. It's up to Cirque to try to be as mobile as possible without leaving any clues.
So Anj swinging out, looking for the headshot angle there. Cannot find it this time, so Cutler wins out in that battle. It'll force Anj back to the site, giving up a long control temporarily here. They still have 2 players sitting on that site. They're ready to defend it, but they are holding very upfront angles if they don't readjust. So that could be a sink or swim moment for CLG upon pushing this A site if they do decide to go down that route. 20 seconds left, so they're going to have to execute soon. And finally, they do start to push inside, eliminating Anj relatively quickly. Breeze waiting for his opponent to look at him there before he gets the kill. Cirque getting another one as well. So this is going to end up coming down to the timer here because they've been able to pick up these kills. Cirque with another one against Ricky, and that's it. Ethan has no time left. NRG will upset here on just a half-bought round with a single op. And that'll keep them in control, 14-13 over CLG.
Well played. I mean, you know, CLG losing that round, it's like they definitely had a disadvantage, but NRG did everything in their power and everything safe and responsible to get a kill. We had a boost. You know, you have gimmicks. That's what you want to use on the eco rounds, or rounds that you're saving. They put Cirque up front to go for the aggressive pick. When he didn't get that, he went back to the boost, and then he went to B. He stayed mobile. He's going through all the checklist, the whole checklist, checking everything off, doing everything in their power to make sure that they can have the most advantages in the default. And there's Ricky to kill Cirque right off the bat, and kind of an important round. But NRG are kind of back on their feet as well after winning that round and saving. They have more money than they should.
So they take down Cirque early on here, and that will be good for them, of course, but now they still have to look to build on this and get some actual site control going. They've been able to push all the way up to the edge of bathrooms already. Ethan with a nice little pot flash outside, but no push behind it. Still just sitting in the hallway here waiting for a potential push from the CTs themselves. Kusta continuing to push forward. All on his lonesome here. He's got no support system set up for this currently, so if he goes down, there is no room for a trade. CT's playing passive anyway, and if he waits here long enough, he might actually be able to get a peek of a player from Dumpster.
That spot is OP. Okay, you can sit there. Oh, never mind.
Nope, not anymore.
It depends if you peek or not, but yeah.
Anj will take him down, and the remaining T's now get ready for an execute to B. But look at Daps, who's pushed all the way out here. I think they're going to check for it. Yeah, they do check for that, actually, so they take him down.
I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad.
I don't know what intel gave him the check for that, or whether they just did it on instinct, but they do indeed check in, and that will kill what could have been actually a monstrous double kill there. Plant goes down, Molly's going to get in their way, but the Molly happens way too late. And with these 2 additional kills, looks like CLG's right back in shape here. Breeze will swing out from CC, getting 1 more kill, but it's overall actually a really clean round from CLG.
Yeah, solid round overall. This is an important moment here that, wow, he really checked, like, in there, man. That's like a lesser played angle, and I mean, it doesn't cost him anything to look at it. So, you know, he should, by all means, look for that angle. It's just that a lot of the times, the team would run right by that, not think of it at all. And Daps would have probably been able to line up 2 kills easily, even though he's not playing well right now. 2 potential rounds left in this game, but it really does feel like OT is creeping upon us. Teams figuring each other out. CLG are finally getting a grasp on their T side. Some mistakes and holes in NRG's game, but on the flip side, NRG winning the full eco, showing prowess throughout this half and CT side. And who called the pause? Was it CLG? Okay.
Yeah.
NRG called the pause. Okay. Ice the kicker.
Ooh, getting into this one too. This actually, it could just go to CLG outright if they win this round in the same fashion they did on the last round here and just kind of walk right through it as easily as they did. You can see NRG's money has been completely diminished. They are out of cash now, and it's obviously only a 1-round losing bonus. So if they drop this one, then they really won't have a good buy going into the last one, and they would have to essentially eco or half buy upset again in order to take it to OT.
Certainly looks like if CLG win this, they close it out. But I wouldn't put it past them to get eco'd. And on the flip side, if NRG win this, there's still an equal chance for CLG to come back in the 30th, considering they've saved up a bit more.
NRG already pulling their players back from A long here, so it might be signs of an early rotate as CLG. It looks like they're going to try to just walk in through Monster. Now, getting up, you know, through tracks here is not the big issue. It's more getting up onto the platform that they have to worry about. So this crawl out's going to work. They even hit that first entry. Now they're going to hunt for additional kills, but that early rotate from NRG might just pay off as they do have 3 players sitting down on the site. Others are very quickly mobilizing to get into position 2 for a retake. We can see Anj coming back down through the halls. Cirque is going to be able to pick one off first, however. As he strikes from further back, and Ethan, he'll get dinked, but he does take down Anj. Unfortunately, he's going to be a little bit useless for the rest of this round. Cutler, though, taking a big risk, tries to sneak out, but the shots aren't landing where they need to. So Fugly's going to be able to take him down. Kusa trying to make something happen for the big pull, but he doesn't have a lot of support currently. Where's his other teammate at? Ricky sitting way back over there at Monster. Kusa hits a shot, and Ethan also supporting right where he needs to. He's going to be able to take him down. Ricky shuts down the final kill. That's going to break NRG and put CLG up on map point.
Dude, every single kill was so close. The timing was so tight on those peaks, and CLG managed to capitalize every single time. Even Ethan getting dinked in the stairs. Imagine if the big flank gets shut down and a kill goes the way of NRG. How much more difficult that would have been for CLG to be able to close that out. But they do it. We're into round 30. There was a lot of money for NRG. Pistols on everybody. CLG are going to be fully well aware of this. And, you know, if they lose, I don't even know. I don't know what to say. They can't be more confident right now that obviously they spent all the money they have and they don't have a lot of it. So what do they do here? They set up in a default, and as long as people don't get too far apart from each other before they decide to do something, there shouldn't be any problem with this.
So essentially what equates to a half buy with utility for NRG is all they have to hold on to now as they force into the final round. And they must hold here to take it to OT, or it will indeed be CLG taking control after a poor start for them. They rolled a massive comeback once they jumped on the CT side, but it may prove to not be enough here if CLG can just take into the 30th against this half bot, or 4 spot technically, but is it equivalent to a half bot round.
The last thing they want to do is take too long to get stuff done. They're starting to throw grenades. Why not in your ultra passive setup, throw the bathroom control smoke, throw a couple flashes over, take a peek or two. Oh my gosh, they're going by themselves.
Backs up.
Why?
Gives the kill to Fugly. That's early round advantage to NRG.
What is the value in him clearing out stairs by himself first, instead of trying to rock a rotation and then him being in the rotator spot to see if CTs will come to his... And then they have one player working out B. They're getting so frantic.
So he's going to walk in and try to do the same thing they did last round. As he walks in, though, he's spotted, so he's going to fall back, actually. Now what do?
They have no time. This is crazy.
30 seconds remaining here, NRG, but actually they just peek it head on, so the CTs are going to give a couple kills away. 3 quick frags to them. Cirque with this massive flash was able to go out, but unfortunately the spam on just that one clip there is only going to let him get 1 kill. Fugly, though, and Cirque both holding for additional pickups, and now it's down to a 1v1. FNS looking to clutch and lay 27 HP. Doesn't have the real estate to plant either, and peeks out with no gun wielded. So NRG will pick up that eco round and tie it up at 15-15, sending us into overtime.
That was so embarrassing. Oh my god. Why? Why does... They could have gotten all this like free bathroom control first. Instead, they send like their most at-risk player up to go clear stairs, give up an AK, give up the 5v4 to take a 50-50 duel to get information for what? Why? No, he's in a perfect lurk spot to catch rotators, and they just... I don't know. And then they take so long to get to B. Ricky's like, oh, well, let's go B. And he's like, you know, halfway leading in, 100 meters away from his next teammate. So dangerous.
Well, CLG mess up with the calls there, and that's ultimately going to throw away what could have been a 30-round map over NRG. And now they have to face the potential of losing this map here in overtime, as the money issue for both teams really will start to dwindle away in OT, especially for the Ts, who have seemed to struggle the most in regulation time now. With the 16K start, they won't really have that problem anymore. And we should be diving into it, guys, in just a couple of seconds. As soon as the players are ready, we'll be in OT, and it'll be 1st and 19 in order to win here.
Definitely did mention that wouldn't put it past CLG to get eco'd. Didn't I be so salty, though?
It's more the way that it happened more than it happened.
That's it with everything, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we can take a look at some of the stats here. We were looking at it during the halftime, and things were a little bit more dominant there, I believe, for... It was Ethan, right? I think leading the charge at halftime. Now it's Cutler that has the advantage there. But obviously on NRG's own end of things, they recently kicked it up quite a bit. Anj and Cirque, the Europeans coming in to help out here now, as Cirque has over 100 ADR, and Anj not far behind there at 95.
Taking a moment here, I think, to go over what they should do next. And I believe the team that ended on T-side will continue on T-side for the first half of the OT, right?
Yep, that's correct.
So that'll be CLG to have to rework it. We saw round 29, a walkout B, the dopest strat on Overpass. Walkout monster. Actually can work really well. Caught them off guard. Their B site execution's a little bit wavery. I think them going for, they were doing a good job of going for their map control within a reasonable amount of time. So they have some options. I think overall there was some highlights to point out about their T side, and I think we'll be going over what they maybe should do. But I think they will definitely see another walkout long B in this OT. I don't think we'll see it right away because I think it'd be too obvious. But I think it's coming. I think it's coming in 3 rounds. No.
Right.
Yes, I think it's coming in 3 rounds if they win the first 2.
All right, we'll see. I mean, it kind of looks like they panicked and tried to go back to it on the last round there after they lost a couple players at the start of it and just sort of haphazardly tried to go into it again, but obviously NRG had read into it by that point and took them out. So
If they were actually grouped, you know?
yeah.
No, that wasn't even... The thing is, the only reason that looked bad is because they didn't actually do it with conviction.
Yeah, they had to do it like all of a sudden and change it up randomly to that.
You could literally tell they were afraid. You know, that was bad.
And so that ended up giving away the last round there and removed quite a bit of the potency that strat could have brought to the table. Now, we'll have to dive into it, ladies and gentlemen, and see if they could still close out in overtime, or now if NRG is going to be the one that'll take the cake here, be able to push forward to take this first map between these two teams. And I think we're resetting. Yep, looks like we're live on 3, folks, so time to go into it. MR3, 16K start money in OT. First team to 19 will win. If the team's tied 18, we reset and do it all over again.
Again, this is a very important match for both teams. Whoever wins this shoots past 6th. From if CLG win this, they go past. They're like a 1-point difference, and I think if CLG win this, they could end up at 5th place. No, that's land territory. That's Odense.
So this time CLG are going to start themselves off with a quick push into the playground here. Cirque might be able to detect some of this as he's holding his own position at party. Once more, the flash completely blinds him. Forces him away, though. No room for Kusta to trade that Audrey suits the shot.
What is this flashing for yourself in 2017? If he had a teammate there, he has lots of tier and defaults. He has so many teammates there. Cirque gives him the kill anyway, but like that he had to peek, you know, he had to wait to pull out his gun, the animation, and then peek. Cirque would have been blind, would have eaten that bullet and died right there if his teammate just flashed for him.
Regardless, if Cirque does go down, and that's going to give up all of short and A long control as NRG choose no longer to challenge that. They sit back on the site itself and will essentially wait for CLG to group up and push in. Anj also being hit due to something too, so he's going to be down to 20 HP, but Daps once again pushing all the way out. He's going to go past Monster this time, so he's got a load of intel. He's going to know for sure that there's nothing B and can call for the rotate of the only other A player right now. Fugly, though lurking, is still able to get another kill against Kusta there. Swings out, takes him down with a bit of a close-up push. That's a trade back, bringing it down to a 4v4 after the earlier loss of Cirque. Time getting low again here for CLG, though. They are going to get ready to go for a straightforward execute up to the A bomb site. NRG should already have most of their players here ready to defend this. Indeed they do. Breeze still going to get hit early on, then we trades that damage back and moves in to complete the kill. Continues spamming against the second one. Fugly bailing Breeze out of a bad situation, saves his life really, and Ricky as the last man standing with only 10 seconds remaining. There's not much merit in saving here in OT, but this round is not really going to be winnable regardless, so it's going to end up going in. Throws his life away. Breeze will take him down, and that's NRG. Let's start off with the advantage here in OT.
Oh man, they actually got the opening kill as well in the top fragger in the team. They took the Opera out right to kick it off, but Breeze's site hold was so good. They even split the site reasonably well. They had the player at long, they had control of it. They knew that no one was there. That guy, Cutler, was able to molly bank, but Breeze was too hard to kill at truck, and just simply not being able to trade him was what lost them the round. So, well done from NRG and particularly Breeze.
CLG rebuy into this aggressively. 2 ops now on the T side for them to start it off. And NRG does the same exact thing, actually. See, theirs is going to make a little bit more sense. We do have players trying to push back in. Breeze is going to challenge FNS early on. Doesn't see him initially sitting in that corner, but still gets the kill. However, overstays his welcome inside of Playground there. Kusta, armed with the op, is going to be able to take him out for the other side of Playground. Now he'll basically just run away with the bomb. Anj also got hit there, so he's going to be sitting down at 12 HP, still playing into the B site currently. He'll have to be very wary to his position. CLG obviously have been known for these big explosion plays out into the B site. He does not want to be in a bad spot, but still holds to that pillar position, however. So he's actually going to be in a very risky position. And he currently has no support either. But it looks like CLG might end up wrapping back upstairs, so that won't become an issue for him.
Yeah, actually closing the door to deny any quiet rotates or anybody for thinking they can go fast and safely. 4 players coming up bathrooms this time, no one long, 1 person bank. And that guy's Fugly.
Get ready for an execute here. Fugly sitting it back, ready to wrap around here. He's lined up for greatness, but unfortunately he's only just going to dink a player. Goes down after that. CLG take quick control. Did a Ricky's headshot there. Takes him out. Now 3 remain from the CT side. They do have positions for retakes, but not being given anything. Cirque just kind of trapped behind smoke. He's been focused out very quickly. The bank player can't spot much. He has to push forward in order to get a kill, but even he can only go 1 for 1. It's not looking likely that this will work. And just the 2 ops remain. They already won the first round, so there's not really any money risk if they go back in. So they're still going to attempt it. They push forward, and it is planted on this side of the dice box, which is the most surprising thing. He sticks it. Goes off of it now, though, and misses that shot. He might have been able to just win it out right there if he stuck it, but Cutler will now move in, take him down, and that secures the trade back from CLG, tying us again at 16-all.
I'm not sure how CLG knew that A was only going to have 1 person on it, but whatever they did to feed the stack on B is great. I think one thing for NRG, however, is that they had 2 oppers B. It's like, if you have 2 oppers, they really shouldn't. They were going to have much better impact on opposite sides of the map, especially when you're down a man as well. That's, you know, that can influence or just help you not have to rotate, or if you do get your rifles get caught over rotating, your op can pick up the slack. You know, at the very least, your op solo A, and then he can fall back to a retake spot if necessary, and can actually have a better chance of killing while staying alive as opposed to a rifler. It seemed like they were putting too much faith in Fugly, and you know, Fugly as the IGL maybe called the setup badly, I don't know.
So Anj trying to hit himself a nice shot there early on, but missing the connection due to basically just firing the shot straight into the barrel. So Cirque is going to move forward, make an attempt at it himself, catches Kusta, takes him down. FNS makes an attempt to jump out, but I think Cirque saw the shadow in advance, so just lines it up nice and easily. 2 quick kills for Cirque. No answer at all from CLG just yet. Daps maybe a little bit too aggressive there. He's going to end up pushing right out into Ricky. That does give away his position. However, he won't continue pushing into the site. Sits back and waits a little bit longer here so that the other 2 players can be in position, ready to execute themselves. With that trade back, though, at least they do open up this B side a little bit more. However, in waiting this long, after falling back, they are giving plenty of time for NRG to also rotate back down, getting ready to defend this site. They'll move in. Anj hits the first shot off of his own op. The remaining 2 also going to try to push in through Monster here, but now they know exactly what's going on. They see these last 2 players, and they'll just line up to counter them. Mish stop shots coming out from the CT side like crazy, however, but Anj now on a CZ gets 1, and Fugly hitting the corner of Pit there gets the second. 17-16 in the favor of NRG as we switch sides.
Pretty simple, good trades overall. Big round from Cirque as he's very aggressive. He just like goes out peeking again and again. I think really once he realized that he took out the op was like, all right, well, my next best opponent only has a rifle, so now I'm available and I can come out and just go ahead and try to take this fight, because why not? I know that if there's people setting up here, there's most likely 1 or 2 people on the bench setting up for smokes. I probably have him cornered off, and he probably doesn't want to peek me or hasn't tried to run away yet, so let me cut him off. And he went for the aggressive peek, decided to get the kill, and then once he got those 2, threw a smoke down, peeked again, but eventually fell off. And that was the play that NRG needed to make that round easy, or much more easy, on the B site. CLG double op setup to start off the second half. Ricky and Kusta.
Into that second half we go, and for NRG, only 2 of these 3 rounds are needed in order to win the map here. Now CLG needs to run all 3 straight, but 2 rounds for them will be enough to tie it at least, and take it into double OT. Started off aggressively with a nice little boost up, even nading out the door there, which could have proven to be a little bit risky. Someone was trained on that, but not the case this time. NRG quickly aligned themselves. They're not going to waste any time. This has to be 2 or 3 times faster than the setups we were seeing from CLG. They're just going to go for a direct B take, so you can see a quick rotate, or at least block them off with smokes, and that seems to be the response CLG go for to buy them time for the rotates. NRG, again, get no sight presence going here, so nobody gets taken down. CLG will be available for a retake, or even better yet, just denying the plant in its entirety. Ethan leaps through the molly, gets himself back into pit. They have a massive stack of players sitting in this pit now, but they're all alive, and most are still at full HP. NRG, again, just not making any progress on this push forward. Ricky shuts down another one, with Fugly being eliminated. And it just seems like lambs to the slaughter at this point. Should give the round to CLG. We'll find out here if there's going to be a chance these guys to turn around. Cirque finally getting at least 1 kill. Still 40 seconds remaining as Cirque goes in for another one. Kusta now trades, though. And with Anj as low as he is, this 1v3 is going to be incredibly tough to try and clutch out.
We'll see how this plays out before we start making any judgments. And 12 health. There's nothing to lose. Tons of money to go into next round.
He's really going for that Heaven player to peek back out. He knows he's there for sure. He saw him crossing seconds ago, but doesn't get the peek. So makes a little bit of noise just to get that player to peek, but takes him down anyway.
Okay. I mean, since they lost, we got to say that has to be one of the ugliest rounds thus far in this game. Now, the Molotov is one thing. Jumping into it is one thing, but the fact that they went for the B take without short control and then threw a Molotov down on short is fine for anybody trying to push into the site, but they could have still peeked behind that further. They threw a smoke onto the Molotov that didn't have enough coverage to block all of short off. So we saw 2 players actually get killed trying to clear short when it was part of their strat to come up and have that choke point smoked. Now, that's just crazy, you know, like you're losing to your own smokes. So it's real sloppy, and yeah, that's really sloppy.
Ricky's going to be able to get another kill early on this time too, as NRG essentially just try to rush out through long. They fire off a flash, which doesn't really connect that well. And so their opper on the other side of first CTs here, Ricky, is going to be very much ready to take the shot back at Breeze. Eliminates him. NRG start off from behind again, now 4v5 here.
Definitely good for CLG, who probably should have closed this game out a lot earlier, considering how many rounds they lost in the first half where they did a lot better. Opening frag's a big one. It's Breeze. 2 at A means this side is relatively fortified, and they have an extra smoke. Did that smoke go too far? No, right on the stairs. Perfect. For Ethan to try to delay.
He's going to continue to push around here right now, though, looking for more positioning that NRG can attempt to work off of. After being smoked and mollied out from multiple directions, though, they look like they're just trying to line up for a pretty default walk-in. Fugly, however, is able to flash out Ethan there, lining up a bit of an attempt for these guys. Kusta burning, not sure if he realized it or not, but Fugly, regardless, moves in and takes him down before he can attempt to retreat. So there's the trades from the earlier losses of teammates. They get into the site. Fugly's going to be in the hot seat there as he gets the bomb onto the ground underneath of a Molotov, and he does succeed in putting it down. And will now run away behind the flower pot with 24 HP. That doesn't mean the CTs are going to waste any time retaking, however. They get themselves up relatively quickly. There's a lot of presence sitting at the back area there, watching out for the flank from Connector, but they won't have to deal with that. Everyone from CLG is attempting to retake just via the normal method, working their way up around, heading through spawn. Already lost one of their players, though, and this is always such a tough retake to successfully, well, retake. They move in.
Cirque's there.
They find Fugly. Cirque just actually staying in the open, so they're going to be able to take him down. Anj via Molly. Can't fully repeat back out. He's going to swing in here. We see the spin. Doesn't work this time, and Anj lines them both up, giving the round to NRG.
How does that, what did FNS do? He had, there's only one person. He didn't have low HP, but he died second. FNS is standing here shooting him right now. He didn't do any damage.
Stop shooting!
Did he must have ran out of bullets, yeah. He didn't do any damage.
Because he stopped shooting, completely repositions and everything. I didn't see a reload animation, but...
Oh, boy.
Another very odd round in what's been a very odd game so far, but it's going to come down to this here now. NRG up on map point against CLG. CLG can bounce this back, but Anj keeps it rolling right out of the side tunnel. Headshots out Ricky. And now it's a 5v4 ready to start, this time in NRG's favor. Ethan, what? Ethan just what is this? Ethan just walks right out though and now finds Cirque for free. There's so many weird kills happening in this game. So he's gonna be able to walk in. There's another CT. If things go the way they've been going so far, this is somehow gonna work out for him to get a double kill, but thankfully that does not happen. Daps will take him down. Ethan swinging in though, almost gets 2 for himself. Lines up one very nice kill. Kus to help it out. We're rotating back in with Cutler along the connector, and now it's a 2v2, but NRG not looking so great. They've got Anj low at 12 HP. Fugly's at 66, but he's going to start looking towards a flank. He'll work himself around here, see if he can get into water. CLG very much ready into this, so there's 50 seconds remaining. NRG want to. They can be as tricky as they went with this play here, but soon they're going to have to face the music in the 2v2. And, well, Fugly's not going to be very much ready to face it. Anj will end up walking in at this low HP. The clutch is to be amazing, but he's going to end up walking into a crossfire, so Cutler will take him down. CLG pick up that round towards the end. That will tie us up, taking us into double OT.
Oh my
wow, he was blind for that too. He was still in the smoke when he hits it.
Completely smoke blind. What a nasty shot. It's total pre-aim. I think Ricky was actually boosted up. And is this, so, okay, so 19 was a magic number. We don't see that. We go into OT number 2. Wow, I mean, it's total rodeo. You know, and everyone likes a rodeo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we like to keep the rodeos in the rodeos, is the thing, you know? We want to keep it clean, tactical.
So yeah, now it's going to be 22 rounds to win here, 21 for the tie and triple OT. Team is just taking a moment again here in order to center themselves in between it, and it looks like they're resetting now. So we will go into that double OT. And well, get to see if one of these teams can finally put up enough rounds in order to well, win the map here. And not see any more weird mistakes, one would hope.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a long shot.
The way things have gone so far.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll find out.
2 ops v1. It's kind of worked out for both teams, as you know, getting to double OT would tell you. But oh, that was an opportunity. Good flash though, gives Reke position, and then Breeze peeks right into it. I'm not sure what they assumed the flash was for, but they obviously weren't anticipating someone to be holding onto that angle.
So that gives him the shot, and now the remaining members of NRG just slow rolling it right now, not really trying to quickly move around the map to look for any sort of positions to retake upon. They do give away the fact that they came out of connector there, so they're going to know that there's 2 additional players playing into that position. Actually, Ricky pushed all the way out to construction again, relatively unscathed. There was nobody with NRG watching that, so they're going to let him peek it. He sees there's nothing there. He's going to spot a player over here. Top connector takes him down. Doesn't see anything else rotating back in through the fountain yet, but if he stuck around, he might have been able to catch another player. So is this, I believe, Anj ends up coming out there. We'll move back into retake playground control. NRG just changing up the dynamic a little bit. They're going to try to make this into an A play instead.
Just 3 remain. 40 seconds on the clock. This map control will be given up to them, which is fortunate. So they won't have to work for it. It can help deal with the fact that the clock is so low, but Cutler over here in a 1-kill position is kind of all they need out of this. Oh, moving off of it for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're going to know he's here. He mollies out long. However, they're going to push right past it anyway. Now he peeks, but Anj still gets the kill. Kusta trades it back with 1 quick draw over here from the truck position. As they fall back after that missed op shot, rolls in, but Kusta also missing his shot until he re-peeks there and then goes in for the closeout. Nicely done from Kusta. Saves the day. What could have been a bit of a dodgy situation otherwise. 19-18, CLG take the lead to start off double OT.
Kusta has been a rocket A. That was a weird decision for Cutler to want to move there. Look, if you look at the setup, it's like 2-3. At the very worst, you would have 1 player from B go towards A. I mean, there would be no reason for a stack that heavy, I suppose. Once Cutler peeking out that late in the round, I mean, I don't know why he would be so confident that there wasn't anyone A, but it might have been comms. Oh, Cutler spotted, but I don't think he knows that.
Dabs finds the first entry. Kusta's going to stick around anyway. He's got to fall back quickly, though. No, can't get out in time, so Cirque's going to trade it again. NRG with an advantage of 4v3 to play off of here. And now they just got to take it to a site.
Yeah, and in response, CLG are going to get aggressive over at B. It's going to pay off. They know that no one's short or long B. They have to, obviously, because they saw 3-4 people up at A. The only way back would be through stairs. So the way that they can deal with this is by pushing through. They're kind of taking their time, however. So Ethan's up here securing long, but if Ethan's up here flanking A, and no one's on the site, then his position isn't that valuable.
Yeah, so now it's going to be really awkward because he shoots here too. So they know exactly where he's at, and Fugly takes him down. So goodbye to that advantage. FNS will be slowly walking up, but yeah, Fugly's just seen him too, it seems. He's going to fall back, trade on that angle. Fugly's very low, so it's obviously a very low chance of getting that kill. But FNS is going to waste no time here. He's going to quickly barrel up to the site. He's probably not going to get there in time, though. And Anj, a beautiful headshot to take down FNS. Leaves just Ricky alone in a 1v3. Molly onto the ground. He's going to try to ninja it out here.
Oh,
spamming in, almost, but not going to happen this time. Anj finds his head, knocks him out. And that's a tie again, 19-19.
I thought they were going to have to shoot from within the molly. But NRG make it work on the A take. And a nice shot from Anj at long A. Again with the double ops. Able to do this, of course, because they have so much money from the 16K to kick things off in each half. And as terrorists, you rarely want to limit your mobility that much, so I don't know if NRG are going to have a similar setup. Oh, Kusta getting that pick blind, looking for Cirque. Cirque ready for the re-peek. Or we can't call it a re-peek, he picked a new angle, but it was still somewhat predictable. So good for Cirque.
Now they'll flash on FNS, get him looking the wrong way, take him down nice and quickly. NRG once again starting off with a nice advantage to play off of here. Just about getting it onto his site now. Cutler would be the last one really standing in the way of an A execute, should they even go in and take bathrooms control. He's got it partially smoked off at the site connector, but that's going to go away in a second. Leaving, well, really nothing to defend himself with. He does have a couple more nades that he can try to toss back out. But at close quarters, he's probably not going to get a chance to use that. So swings out right in a breeze. and he goes down.
That always feels bad. Someone waiting for you crouched on the tightest angle possible, and you get your head blasted off. Just downloaded and executed.
So Ethan's actually going to push forward and basically do the same exact thing. I'll hold outside this time so as not to get kind of wrecked by either Cirque or Breeze. But Ricky downstairs, he's going to be able to find one. Ethan should hear these footsteps, actually, so he's going to walk up, gets one more pickup. That does leave the A site open, so that's going to let both the NRG players walk right in. But now CLG have a much better chance to actually retake this in the 2v2 because they get that kill.
Well, we have the push to bank. That's what I'm curious about. We have one
Cirque
walking in there. Yeah, this is, cut off all angles here.
We can't see that right stairway just yet, but he does have the hallway where he has to come from here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even if he comes from the right, he can be
Ricky
covered.
checking for it, but Cirque's going to hit that shot nice and easily. And Ethan moving in basically has to get a double kill inside of the bank. Tag onto the bomb, trying to get them out into the open. They can both re-peek him, though. As long as they both peek at the same time, he's an easy target, and that's not even really necessary. Breeze can just roll out from bank. So that'll secure another one for NRG, and they take the lead coming off the first half, 20-19. Same exact thing as first overtime, actually. So they need 2 to win, CLG need 3.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten very simplistic and somewhat individualistic, but we can see also the teams looking better on both sides, which is good, I suppose. A lot of the playbook has been shown at this point, and it's gonna come down to a lot more individual plays the longer we go into OT between these two teams. But it seems like they've both gotten something done at B, something done at A. NRG having a little bit more success towards A, a little bit more success in their defaults. CLG's BTX potentially cleaner at B. I don't know, maybe, marginally. Defaults out, stairs controls, Ricky tosses a nade back in response to a smoke that goes down. A little bit of damage is dealt. Breeze coming away with coming away from the molly pretty much unscathed.
CLG quickly clearing things out over here now. Tunnels down below and up the steps too. They'll continue to push it forward, but NRG have this very interesting setup right now. They're going to go for the boost up too, which is going to be very hit or miss for them. They end up destacking it and falling away, which in my eyes is a smart call, given the current situation. When you look at the stack of players there from CLG getting ready to push out A long, probably be traded pretty quickly by CLG if NRG chose to stay there. They'll instead fall back.
Another powerful bathroom setup.
Here's the real thing too, is NRG views like all of their utility in the first minute of this round. They've got one molly and a couple flashes, but that's it. So they're gonna move back in. Anj peeks, but neither of them hit shots. A little distractedly so Breeze can move in, but he only goes 1 for 1, and Anj is now caught moving into the open. Cutler will take him down. Kusa just wrecks Fugly. I don't even know, it looked like Kusa peeked out all the way to kill him, but still will take him out. And these last two really don't stand a chance, as they were given no warning about this. And we're both still down in B, so the round's over. It's going to go into CLG's hands, and we're tied again, 20-20.
Yeah, I think, they would want to go for it. There's just literally no point, even though they have enough money to buy. 2 ops can get a little bit expensive, but what can you do? They're just going to fall off, try again next round. It's basically 0 chance with the amount of utility, as you mentioned, to come back into this. And yeah, kills are getting racked up. Our Cirque's up to 40 into OT2, and somehow CLG are able to win the rounds. It seemed like the NRG setup was fine, and pushing out maybe. I know, like, and pushes out and picks the correct timing and has a great opportunity to get a kill, but then doesn't. And it's like, how do you account for that, right? Like, he on another, like in another round, would have just pushed out, got that kill, not whiffed, and then fallen back to bathrooms. His teammate probably wouldn't have tried to help him, or if he did, would have gotten a second kill. Maybe that guy doesn't get traded out. Who knows?
Well, either way, if one team wants to close it out here, they now need to win the next 2 rounds straight. Otherwise, we end up in triple OT.
It's very unlikely that anybody wins 2 rounds in a row, it seems.
That means we're here forever.
It's very likely.
Never ends. And there's still a second map.
It's a probability. Yes. I'm sure they'll probably take a small break in between. Spend so much time together at this point, they probably starting to like each other.
Let's see here for CLG. Their player is going to quickly roll out Molly so they can get short A control. There's no one from NRG trying to counter-aggress that. So they're just going to be holding. I think the furthest player they have pushed out here is going to be in bathrooms at this point. Even he's going to fall back pretty quickly this time due to the failure that happened in the last round. Won't be worth to risk it again. So he does move to the edges there, getting ready for more of a site setup. But CLG, this time looking to experiment more with the B site, just making noise down here in connector right now, and they keep one player. Their lurker is going to be, or actually not even really a lurker, it's Ricky. He's going to be hiding right outside of Monster right now. Ethan, however, able to get a first kill. Kusa did get hit. Daps downstairs, trading things back out. He takes down Ethan, keeps us down to a 4v4. And Kusa still looking for that shot onto A-Long to eliminate Cirque, but Cirque hasn't peeked them just yet. Fugly will now re-smoke short A, making sure that these T's won't be able to get any control. They'll flash it anyway. Fugly's going to be blinded. He got very close to killing Cutler anyway, but he ends up coming out at the end of it. Now Cirque ready to kill off these remainders as they push back in. Ricky got another entry, however. He was able to eliminate Anj. And now Cirque sits basically alone on the site. He does have support from Daps, but Daps is further back. With that upshot, though, it's going to bring down the bomb, and there's no time left for the plant. Cirque successfully holds it. Kusta will kill him, but that does not matter, as it will not get down on the ground in time, and they cannot locate Daps either. Even moves back in, kills one more post-timer. That shouldn't really matter considering it's OT, but still, NRG move forward and once again prop themselves up on map point.
Here's Cirque playing the die and lose position, and Kusa, or Gafanesh I should say, thinking, all right, here's an easy trade. I could go try to put the bomb down, but if I do try, I'll probably get opt. I could have my teammate cover me, but we don't know if he's going to peek the left or the right. Let me take this into my own hands. It's not necessarily a bad play. It's just what he thought was best. Cirque hit a nice flick shot, and basically ended it right there. It was pretty much the problem of CLG to let the round go out that far before getting to the site. That was the biggest problem. They didn't really have too many advantages going into it to be able to justify the amount of time left over. And now they are one away from actually losing. But the funny part is that the stakes have risen now that they've gone to OT, just because they've become so much more invested in it. But NRG actually get more points if they win here in OT, right?
Yeah, that's correct,
So
actually. That was the new rule they got put at the beginning of this season. So this is worth a whole
Put on
lot
your
more
tinfoil hats.
Well, let's see here. CLG getting ready for a quick push up to the A site. Planning all their players for it. NRG, because they've played so passively, have no intel to realize this. Which means if these three don't start rotating into position soon, then the site could get overwhelmed again. And we'll look at a round that we just had, 2 rounds back, happening for a second time here. They do have to be really careful with this bathroom play. It's been very dodgy for themselves. Cirque, though, making one kill happen, tries to peek out against it. Another Alper from the opposite side. And he'll go down to that. Now CLG will pinch on the site. Rotates, rolling back in. Only really Fugly up here to defend it right now. He's going to get hit by a molly. That means they know where he is. Deletes all site presence for the CT side. Smokes will also hold them back temporarily here. They're looking for options to go back up and peek again. But that's still hiding behind Semi. Cutler holding close up here, so this is basically going to be a gauntlet these 3 remaining members of NRG will have to run in order to even get close to allowing this retake to happen. Triple OT is the likely outcome, and with those 2 and now 3 potentially kills, yep, there it is, the 3rd kill going by the way of CLG. They secure round 21 themselves and reset us again, going into triple OT.
Cirque gets that first frag, and then after that ends up going for a peek on the other side of the site, or on the other side of bathrooms. Dies because Fugly's just sitting on the site by truck, not watching anything for him. And you have to wonder, did Cirque make his way out there by himself, or did he tell Fugly he was going to go for a pick and fall back, or what? Like, did he say he was going to be back home later, just in time for dinner, or like, what was the promise there? Because Fugly was basically not doing anything except, I guess Fugly was watching long for him. But, for Cirque, he has 2 angles by himself at bathrooms, not let alone long. I mean, technically, he can't, no one's going to come out long and kill him in the back at bathrooms. And if that were the case, Fugly could have helped them secure bathrooms control so that they could sit there and defend the site from the bathrooms itself. So a weakness there that was exploited, and they took advantage of Cirque's peaky nature.
And looking at the stats, Cirque still leading the charge at 110 ADR now. Anj fell off a little bit in terms of his ADR. He's down at 90, but that's still very impressive. He's almost up at 40 kills himself. Cirque still leading the way by frags, however, at 43-27. So let's jump back into our 3rd OT here now. and see if one of these teams can close out. I really don't even know which one it would be at this point, but momentum definitely continuing to swing evenly. It's either team's game still here currently.
It really is as close as it can get. 1 op per team as we move into round 43. It's getting real. Cirque dodging. Guardian position, spots ahead, falls off quick. Now you don't want to see CTs going all the way back into site after a kill like that. Instead, yeah, looking for a different avenue to find CT aggression. And here it turns into a long setup with Cirque all the way back at A and one person pushed up. So from Cirque's spot now, like if this was last round, he'd have a very similar shot to the one that he had on the round previous where he had to re-peek and die. Except now he can unpeek, stay safe, and not feel like he has to peek to stay alive. Oh my god.
There's the spam.
Mess with the bulls, or the bull.
You get the horns.
Get the horns.
So nicely done from Ethan. Daps, however, trades it right back up on top, so not an advantage that they maintain for very long. But now they're going to get it back. Oh, Breeze!
What?
Rolls out and gets the quick double kill. Kusta and Finesse both go down.
Hey, yo.
And now CLG just down onto 2 players. They are going to wrap over to Monster. They'll get the bomb back at least. But upon pushing in, all they're going to just give themselves away too is that flash made them think that they were going to get pushed from the corner. Not the case, but that does reveal their intentions. Up they go. They won't even be quiet about it because they've already been revealed. Cirque getting to spam back. Ethan hits that kill, however, so evens us back out again. No one can seem to hold an advantage here for whatever reason. The plant onto the ground. The last 2 CTs looking to retake quickly. A great flash over the top, but Fugly can't complete a kill. He brings Ethan down very low. That's not going to help Cirque, though. He's an opper. He needs these players dead. He will finally trade that out to an M4. Time continues to run lower. No sign of a commitment yet from NRG. And now Cutler counter-flanking, moving in, trying to pinch around this player of water. Fugly currently not checking his backside at all, so he is going to be able to run right up. Cirque got the kill first, but Cutler gets a trade. And now Cirque, first of all, looking for the bomb. He finds it. He's trying to get Cutler to peek, but Cutler knows he's not going to commit on that, and he runs out and gets the kill anyway. So it's CLG that take control at the beginning of the 3rd OT and go up 22-21. Remember, 25 is the winning number here.
Yeah, gloves are off. They're starting off strong. It's going to be a bare knuckle fist fight, and it started with a B hit, something that we've seen kind of go both ways. But at the end of the day, when you're playing this many rounds, you cannot just isolate one side alone and continually hit it. You've got to work on both and try new avenues of approaching it. You know, these are 5 players who have all played on different teams at certain points, and everybody's really going to be pitching in to try to come up with something new at a certain point, you would imagine.
Nades are out here and does a little bit of damage to Cutler early on. But CLG still going to press forward anyway here. They've got themselves lined up for a B hit. They still have 2 players outside of Playground, however. So they're going to need some time before they are ready to shape this up into any kind of execute now. Meanwhile, for NRG, very heavy on the B setup for them. Even having players waiting inside of these steps and whatnot are very close to that. So they're going to move out, try to pinch on these CTs if they can. And it works out well. Or try to pinch on these Ts, excuse me. They take down both Ethan and Cutler. Ricky tries to trade going into that side tunnel there. Fails at it. Fugly's going to take him down. It does get traded by FNS now. It pushes past the smoke. Times it very well, too. Re-peeks out looking for a headshot on Breeze. Won't find that there, so it's just Kusta. Now in a 1v4. He's going to be able to catch Daps. It comes barreling out through Monster. And now with an M4 in hand, he can at least try to make a bout for this site. He's got plenty of time. 45 seconds remaining. Good flash initially, too. Completely blinds out Cirque. So it's going to put him back into the pit. Smokes out the site. You can at least get a plant here now.
I think it's time for a Kusta special.
I would hope so.
30 seconds left, bomb, and if he waits enough time, they're going to assume that maybe he went back. One person might trail slightly back to the other site. Cirque on the way back gets killed. Is he going to clear this pit out is the question.
I think he only thinks it's one, and gets that nasty realization as soon as he goes up to the safe plant position. So Anj will take him down. NRG trade the round back, and what do you know, we're tied again, 22-22.
Has there been a team that's won 2 rounds in a row?
In OT, I don't think so, no.
No, huh?
No, I think
definitely doesn't feel like it, but I don't know.
They've been all back and forth.
Yeah. Dude, our boy Daps. Oh, he's out. Oh, he's at. Wait, what? 8 and 11 rejoined it. Maybe the first OT. He didn't have a lot of kills at all, though, even leading into regulation. So I wonder
that's the trick.
Yeah.
That's what we
done
call
that before?
That's what we call the mid-map dot stats reset right there.
Mid-map dot stats reset. Rolls right off the tongue. That's how you stay on a team.
Until the map ends and you can see the stats anyway.
Right.
Just delays the inevitable. Well, CLG, looks like they're just going to burst out B this time. They've got everybody lined up for it. Quick execute potentially for them, but I believe NRG know that this is going to happen. They have no one at A, primarily because Anj was able to push all the way out in upper tunnels, sees nothing, so they have a 4-man stack. It's going to be a battle for control over this round. They'll move back in. Initial dink goes over here onto Daps, bringing him down low. Cutler finishes that off, but Cirque also trades. Fugly holding up on sidewalk here. He's going to be able to spam back in. Only getting 1 kill, but he did great damage to his second, which Breeze is now going to be able to kill. Just Kusta alive in a 1v2 situation. Silliman on the clock, jumps up on a safe plant and finds Fugly. Now it's a 1v1. Fake plants first, goes into pit. Should have been able to hear that, but he runs out and gets that headshot anyway, taking down Kuza and giving NRG the advantage coming off the half.
Okay, there it is. 2 rounds in a row. NRG come back to win in the, what round? What OT is this? OT4?
3.
3? Okay. 3, okay. Looking pretty solid, though those were 2 1v1s, and it's actually two situations where Kusa wasn't able to win. So, again, we take a second look at the stats here. Daps has 16 frags. It's definitely, oh wow, Daps and FNS. So race to the bottom.
Was the exact same scorelines too. FNS has died 5 more times though, so that's doing slightly better.
At least he has more of something.
Yeah. But it looks like we're going to be jumping back into it now. Second half of Triple OT. NRG with the advantage. Same as it's always been, and the past 2 OTs as well. 2 for NRG, they win. 3 for CLG, they win.
It sounds so easy, right?
It does.
It does.
But nobody can win it for some reason.
Yeah. These guys are sweating, pulling everything out.
Double up set up to start off this half, however, for the CTs. Kusta and Rikke going to pick those up, and they will be very aggressively stacking inside of the connector too, trying to isolate side holes, pressure here in water if they can at all do that.
3 in stairs. Excessive question mark?
For the T's as well.
Let's see, they might try to do a short take off this, clear it out.
Okay, sitting right on the other side of the door with an op. The CTs that were up on the steps have now gone away.
Whoa, whoa.
Okay. Doing some tricks. Surprisingly, the T's won't bite on that. At least it didn't look like they did initially.
Yeah, I don't think he's concerned that they might just like bust open this door on him.
And there they go. He gets 1 kill just off the reaction. However, FNS is the one that can really save this. He drops the bomb, moves out, gets another kill. Should have been able to hear Anj walking towards him, but doesn't. So Anj is going to take him down. Trades that kill back. They're still at a disadvantage here. But FNS potentially could have just ended the round right there by getting the additional kill onto Anj. Now Cirque.
Whoa.
All right. Just lets him walk right past his crosshair.
That's a warning. You have been passed by a spooky Cirque.
So now Anj is going to try to creep up to the site too, look for something if he can. There's Cirque with the kill this time.
He warned you. Oh.
Don't peek me again. Goes back. Almost looks like he hits that shot off the corner too, but no success this time. Anj will now plant. Is it to be ready to hold pretty quickly here too. Cirque will miss his shot. His opponent comes peeking out. That's actually very ballsy there that we see Kusta attempting that to go right up for the cross. We can throw the molly down. Anj with his kill on the Cutler though, now puts Kusta into a nigh impossible clutch situation. Smoke in front of him. Minimal utility, at least minimal utility that he can properly aim when he does roll out. Cirque, with just a very small amount of vision, takes him down and puts NRG up on a map point. This time, they have 2 rounds to do it, so let's see if they can finally close out.
Yeah, we haven't seen this before. You know, it's looking like NRG are going to win for sure. It does come down to a very tight clutch situation, or maybe like just close 2v2 to begin with, and you know, Cutler having a chance to kill Cirque, Cirque having a chance to kill Cutler. I think it was like Anj getting the kill in the 2v2 to make it a 2-on-1 in the first place, but that was quite close. I think Cutler was the one in B, I think, at the time. A lot of variables there that were hanging on by a thread to just change the course of this entire match and their lives.
Wow. That was
How
deep.
many people can say they've been to Odense? I can't.
No, neither can I. Well, we've got NRG slowly creeping around the map. Let's just hope they don't suffer from the same affliction that CLG got hit by back on the end of regulation there in round 30, where they just slow it down too much and end up kind of playing themselves as they have to change their strategy all of a sudden towards the end of the round. basically throw it away. They've got 2 players over 40 kills, one just 3 away from 50 now. The slow walk into bathrooms and short A to start this off. Ricky with a very well-timed smoke, but they're going to move in and challenge it anyway. He spots this, re-peeks back out. It's not just him that gets a kill either. It's going to be Kusta also picking one up. Ricky's now just going to fall back out through long. They'll rotate additional presence up onto this A site. They do actually leave it relatively open.
Ugh. 5 bathrooms. They're letting the long guy rotate into the site like this is. Like they have like a complete flank here. This guy's just running around having fun. Doesn't even have to watch his back out long.
Ricky getting another kill. Ethan tearing out Cirque, and yup, it seems like my fears were realized here. As it is just down to Fugly, a 1v5. Basically uses his entire clip getting the kill onto Ethan. They let him reload. It's only just after he finishes that FNS takes him down. And now CLG 1 away from taking this into quad OT.
Like they didn't know it, right? But they could have gone long. They could have taken long control with 1 person. Ricky wasn't even peeking them. They could have thrown a long control smoke, gotten a person behind it. Could have taken bathrooms with 4 people, gotten onto the site, mollied out Ricky, pushed him into the peeking the op or whoever at long, or put him back into the site, whatever the case may be, and they would have been so much easier. How can you send 5 bathrooms when you have all your guns and utility and everything? Why?
That's what I keep saying. It definitely feels like the pressure keeps getting to them and causes them to try to go for these very simple, very thorough strats that check out these corners and stuff.
I think this is the time we need to see the monster walkout. This is the monster walkout explode pocket strat to close out the map.
Yeah, but that was CLG's strat though. That wasn't NRG's thing.
Man, great artist steal. Okay.
It's like everything is a mimic of. Mimic is the greatest form of flattery, I suppose.
Imitation.
Imitation. That's right. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
You can't spell imitation without mimic.
Don't
You
think
thought
that's
about
correct.
it. I looked at you. You thought about it.
I was looking for the C in that word. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So let's see here. NRG again slowly playing things in the early round, not trying to necessarily take any massive map control besides Daps just going in to clear out connector, and even that's too much of a tumultuous task as CLG also play it back this time. They play into the sites. They keep 1 person, Ricky, over here at the top site connector or top bathrooms connector. And he's just going to be holding there, watching out for a long pressure. He does have additional support from Cutler available, but again, walking right into an opponent here. Cirque trades it this time, so at least they make up for it. And Fugly is going to be able to catch Ricky. Not really sure what Ricky's intentions were there, whether it was trying to dive down and kill Cirque quickly, but yeah, does not check parties. That is going to let them get an additional kill now and bring this down to a 4v3 in the favor of NRG.
This might be it. Congregation of terrorists towards Long B with short control. The bomb, some time remaining, but nobody here to stop them. Path smoke comes out. Oh, it's actually a site smoke. As 1 person's in the pit, that's Kusta, all alone with his op. He's got a big job on his hands, but the first opponent isn't going to come from short. He's already in the site planning.
They already went out through the monster walkout too, so they got full control there. The CT's now rotating back in. They don't really have great positions. Molly's on the site's going to split up these T's to a certain degree. Prees with a very messy spray, but it gets the job done. Kusta with an up-close deagle shot sends it back the other way. Anj now holding behind the pole, just watching for pit players, trying to move the ray back out. That's going to be unsuccessful as he takes down Kusta and swings in for the last kill. That's finally going to seal the deal here as NRG take control of map number 1 here on Overpass. They take it 25 to 24, 23, something like that at the end of the day, and win it 20. Get numbers all over the place, but they win the map more importantly, and they'll be able to take control here to start off the day.
Yeah, almost a full 2 maps to kick off the day, and we already have a map left, and we only started off thinking we were going to have to cast 2. There's some more math for you. Analysts, take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that, boys? You guys all right over there? All right. So, well, a knockdown drag out all the way to the end. And we end out at a 25 to 23 scoreline.
Yeah, talk about a barn burner there. As a battle to Alps, I felt like there's at least 4 Alps a majority of the rounds. At one point, both teams were having a double Alps set up at the same time, T side and CT side. So
what was that round when we saw 3 ops on CT side? I really hope that was not round 30. I think it was round 30. I'm not even kidding. It was either the first round of all of the overtimes, like the very first of the 70 over.
Yes.
It was either the first round of the overtimes or it was round 30. And if it was round 30, I'm going to go back and ask for an hour of my life back, NRG and CLG.
And you know what? You might be entitled to that, but that's your time, of course. Looking at our first replay, though, we do have round 25. It's our first taste of a real, well, double op setup, I guess, on both sides of the map.
So actually, Kusa gets picked off a little early, then FNS takes out Anj, and now it's a 4-4 situation. And you kind of say, that's looking pretty good for NRG. You know, Turk is alive. He's been really holding down a lot this map. His AWP was probably one of the defining factors why NRG's even in this game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they ended up winning the game, right? Did he have like a 50 bomb, near 50 bomb?
He had a numerous amount of kills, I think the most on his team. And I think one of the things that I wanted to point out in this round is that even though the whole game, both teams were trying to hit B for so much, not working. You know, both teams have a very strong B setup, but here they attack A, and Cirque, he could have had a flash. I think Fugly was by that area. He could have popped flash for him long, but he decides to peek it without the flash and gets taken out. Just like a little snippet on where, you know, call for flashes, just that little extra teamwork that we need to see, and it could have been around for NRG.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mistakes, a lot of good plays. One thing I will connect from earlier this week that I said is that Cirque needs to get better at knowing when to not die, and I think he actually did a really good job. You know, aside from this round, right? Yes, he died there. He didn't die from long. He died from Ricky peeking the front bathroom. But I think Cirque did a really good job not dying too early, because Overpass A site is like the prime example of oppers dying too early, right? Like that's the easiest way to lose a gun round is if you die too early on in the round. And he didn't do that very often, so props to Cirque.
So I'm gonna throw just an idea out there, and take it as you will. Is there a chance that this went the full distance that it did because of sloppy play on both sides? I mean, we saw a 10-5 scoreline that ultimately led to, was it 4 OTs, 3 OTs, and is that fair to say?
I think in regulation, yeah. I remember one round, was it 23 or something, or it was NRG was hitting B, and they tossed that smoke execute, and the routes they took was towards the middle of the bomb site. But there's smokes everywhere else but the middle of the bomb site.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of thinking, well, that's kind of because I mean, as a CT, that's the angle I want to have.
Yeah.
Open. There's no smoke there.
That's the most important one. Number one, because it has line of sight to shoot people, and number two is because it will guard your planner from a Molotov. Right? Like, if you're going to hit B, that is arguably that or Heaven are the number one smokes to use. On a gun round, it would be mid-sight. On a pistol round, it'd probably be Heaven because you have more of the swarming ability. But I don't really like to take the negative route and assuming it's sloppy play, because then I feel like I'm, you know, becoming Thorin, and I really do not want to become that. All right? It's like, oh, NACS, immediately I'm going to say negative things about it. La-di-da-di-da, that's great. We've heard that tune for the last 4 years. Come up with something new, please. Right? So I think that there was a lot of good plays made, but I think they also need to work on their execs, put a little more thought into it. No team's perfect, not even the EU teams. Okay?
Good point.
Well, Cirque coming out with 105 ADR over 48 rounds. Certainly something to boast there, Cirque, on his A game, dare I say it. But that does it for Overpass. We're going to be jumping into Mirage. That's going to be our next map. But we're not going to waste any time. That one took long enough. We're going to go to a break here. So make sure you come back to us here at the Intel Esports Arena for ESL Pro League.